Peace and greetings once again, family. As always, shalom, salam, namaste, hotep, rahubat, que paso, any language that you know to equate to peace and greetings. Today is now July 1st, 2017 AD on the Gregorian Julian calendar, AD standing for Anno Domini, year of the Lord, year of their Lord. And of course I use a 13 moon calendar with a Marrakesh year, which would equate to the fourth or fifth day of the cosmic moon, and the year, it would be AH Anno Hejiri, which is the year Prophet Muhammad sojourned to Medina. And again, that's the 13 moon calendar with a Marrakesh year. I'm coming back at you with another powerful monologue. You know, as you know, something's always going on and it's being turned up. Every second of the day, something's going on, very significant. Whether we're paying attention to it or not is a different story. I know I am. So I felt the need to come back at you and do this particular monologue entitled "The State Birth Certificate is a Trade Agreement Undisclosed to the People." Again, the name of this is appropriately "The State Birth Certificate is a Trade Agreement Undisclosed to the People." And when you talk about birth certificate, I spell it B-E-R-T-H as opposed to B-I-R-T-H. If you don't know why, you should have been following some of the lessons so far, or some of these monologues. You'll know the difference between B-I-R-T-H and B-E-R-T-H. You ain't gonna get into that. You can look it up, do your homework, because it's been told to you many times. But some of you already probably seen there's a Word document going around with the same title. Somebody put a Word document out with the same title: "The State Birth Certificate is a Trade Agreement Undisclosed to the People." And I'm just expounding on that. You know, I saw the Word document and decided to elaborate and expound on it, as I see that particular information practically as the main solution to our problems currently here in North America / Amaruca / Amurica / Almarak, whatever you want to call North America, Great Turtle Island, Land of Frogs, Mulan, Atlan, Egypt of the West, all that. We are certainly not in the United States. You should already know this. We are not in the United States. The state created straw man person, which has been psychologically overlaid upon you at birth, is in the United States corporation. Okay, that's a U.S. citizen, not you. You should already understand by now that only a corporate entity can interact and communicate with any other corporate entity. So again, that's what the monologue will be. The state birth certificate is a trade agreement undisclosed to the people. A lot of information. Let me see if I can get through it within a span of about 2.5 to 3 hours. Now, first of all, I'm going to give out a website, a new website. It's got a lot of information on it. https://indigenouspledocs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. And that's Moorish Nation with two U's, more with two U's, not two O's. So I'll say it again, a new website, or a website that you want to take a look at. A lot of information is https:// https:// Indigenous People Docs, INDIGENOUS PEOPLEDOCS WIXSITE.com /ASIATICMURISHNATION Indigenous People Docs.wixsite.com /Asiatic Moorish Nation. And the email, if some of y'all want to email, is asiaticmoorishnation@gmail.com. And in the email, the Moorish Nation is spelled with 2 O's. ASIATICMOORISHNATION@gmail.com. Starting off with some news. A lot of you may not know that the UN chief says the UN will be, I don't know if they said isolated or something, if it engages from the world. It says, basically it says like the UN chief says the US will be, I don't know if they said isolated, but they will be shunned from the international community. That's what it is. They will be shunned, they will be isolated, they will be disregarded from the world on many issues affecting the international community if it disengages from the world. Now this is the United Nations again, talking about one of their key members, the United Snakes. The United States is a key member of the United Nations. This is the second time the United Nations stepped up and chastised its own dog. That's very significant revelation that the U.S. is officially rogue and lawless. Okay, when you got the United Nations, which compiles of at least 175 to 193 nations, which they're all corporations anyway, but still, that's supposed to serve as the international community that lays down the law for other nations. And if the United Nations took it upon themselves to openly chastise and rebuke the United Snakes, especially under Donald Trump, what is that telling you all? See, the handwriting's on the wall. The handwriting's on the wall. You know, it's nothing hidden no more. Okay, again, UN chief says the U.S. will be disregarded or put to the back or whatever they said if the U.S. disengages from the world on many issues affecting the international community, such as the climate agreement, which Trump is talking about bowing out and isolating himself from the other nations, whatever that means. It's all politics anyway, but I don't follow that. Because, all this carbon, too many carbon emissions, really talking about melanin-rich people, as we are carbon-based people. But that's another story. But also on the Syria action, there's in the Middle East, the U.S. is now toe-to-toe with Russia in the Middle East. This thing is on, for real. The U.S. is now toe-to-toe with Russia. Guns loaded, missiles, and Russia done told the U.S. if y'all keep on infringing and inching, because that's what they're doing, and it's getting China agitated. Okay, we talking about World War III for real. Whether they do it or not, it's still war, because it's all got to do with trade. Okay, so that's pretty hot. The UN chief says the UN will be isolated if it disengages from world issues such as Syria and climate change and all that. Now you remember the same UN has already revealed that the U.S. should pay reparations to so-called blacks and African Americans. That was serious enough. At the UN again talking about their own key member, United Snakes, said, number one, that the U.S. should pay reparations to so-called blacks and African Americans, and number two, that blacks and African Americans, so-called blacks, African Americans, are currently in a human rights crisis at the in North America at the hands of the United States. That was a revelation that y'all should have paid attention to and acted on right there. That's still in effect. So, number two in the news, Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice. If y'all don't remember her, you should. Condoleezza Rice says that Trump holds our values. She made a statement on some news broadcast that Trump holds our values. I mean, are you serious? She's tricked out. That's the same Condoleezza Rice that served as Secretary of State when the United Snakes was making all this war in Iran. But the fact that a melanin-rich woman, the original woman of the planet, mother of civilization, all these sisters are supporting this hairy Saint Bernard, genetically unstable cracker that is totally against everything they stand for, the natural womb, the natural family. And you got a sister always putting her neck on the line and standing up for this beast. That shows you they've been psychologically, emotionally, financially broken. Okay? Omarosa Manigault is one of them. White House aide said the same thing. But if you look at who Condoleezza Rice is, number one, she's Greek sorority, probably Divine Nine. You know, just go to her Wikipedia profile. She's tricked out. She's tricked out. Where it is, she had a sexual affair with George Bush Jr. Probably did, which messed her mind up and messed her behind up. But she's in. She's psychologically manipulated. And Trump holds our values. Our values. Whose values is our? He don't hold my values. All right. I mean, could it have anything to do with that oil tanker that's named after her? A lot of y'all don't know that Condoleezza Rice got a oil tanker named after her, USS Condoleezza Rice. A oil tanker. So what's that telling you? She profits from these wars for oil to keep that tanker full. Okay. She's a warmonger, tricked out sister warmonger. Christian sicko. Talking about Trump holds our values. No, he holds your values because you're in bed with him. Figuratively and literally. Okay. Anyway, we're going to move right along. But I felt the need to tell you that about Condoleezza Rice because this whole white patriarchal system is totally against the original woman, her natural family, her natural womb. But she, being a war victim, have been captured and brainwashed into upholding this same system against her family. That's got to stop. And she got to be, the hold on her will be broken. That's what this whole war is about. Break the psychological manipulation on the original woman. Okay, Mama Mara L already told you the system's got to go. So there's no way in the world you supporting this male chauvinistic pig, sexist, racist, genetically unstable pig. That's totally against you, the woman. So she's under hypnosis. All them sisters, Susan Rice. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of that for now. But it's a shame, Condoleezza Rice. Shame on you. What else is happening in the news? Another brother, Philando Castile, brutally assassinated in front of his woman and child by the police. Another brother. I mean, they're doing it almost every day now. Okay, they're sending a message. But you all know the Philando Castile brutally murdered, assassinated. I say the word assassinated in front of his woman and child. By who? The po-po. The police. The dumb, stupid animals. The killers. Third-party mercenaries. Commercial mercenaries. Mafia hitmen. Because that's what they are. They got no affidavit that no crime ever exists. They just taking our people off the planet. 2017. And they did it, like I said, in front of his woman and the 4-year-old child. So what's that telling you? This is why Condoleezza Rice is running her mouth under mind control like that, because she's been emotionally broken, financially broken, spiritually broken, and probably sexually broken. Because, you know, they do that. They get them sisters and have orgies with them, get up in that Stargate and turn that hole out. And when you screwing the behind, you screwing the behind, screwing the mind. That's the only way you can make a statement like that in front of the world that trumps whole our values. Now, for the police to kill this brother in front of his woman and child, y'all may not understand that these crackers got a law on the books how to break a woman. It's all about the woman because she controls the child. They got words on paper that says, talking about the woman, let them see so that they may fear. Talking about the woman, let them see, meaning visuals, which tie directly to your psyche. Let them see so that they may what? Fear. F-E-A-R. You think they're playing? There's a science to fear. Fear is a science. And there's a science to the woman. So they're using the science of fear on the natural science of the original woman. They're playing her security. See, she needs security. The Creator made it that way. And anytime her security is compromised, she gonna submit and capitulate and surrender. And that's what they're doing to her. Make her see so that she will fear, or let her see so that she will so that she will fear. And that's what they're taking it back to, the same thing they've been doing 500 years ago, shooting her man right in front of her and her child, breaking her, just like they did on them plantations when they destroyed the villages, killed the men directly in front of her immediately. And not only that, didn't immediately rape her, break her, shatter her emotionally. And when they do that, she ain't got no fight against them. She's under a hypnotic spell to do whatever they tell her to do. And that's what they're resorting back to, trying to hold their system in place, knowing the times we in, the 2012. This is the war we in. And somebody has given these pigs a colonial order. And damn it, you know, do what you've been doing, Jim Crow. Take it on back to Jim Crow. Break them, break the woman. And how you break the woman, you see how they do it. The way they shot that brother, man, is blood curdling. The way they shot that brother in front of his damn woman and child, man, come on. What part of law enforcement is that? Number one, it ain't law enforcement. What part of humanity is that? And you can if you hear the excerpt, audio excerpt, man, that pig just went into a mode, some type of psychotic mode, man. Like, you know what I mean? He just hulked out. They are definitely on something with adrenaline, the racist adrenaline, the racial adrenaline, the adrenaline that this cracker just geesed up, hollering at the top of his voice. Get the kid out of here! What the fuck the kid got to do with what you just did? Get the baby out of here. When they do that, man, they should be immediately put on the damn execution squad by the end of the day. and let the world see their head roll. If there was justice, there's none. But unfortunately, this type of behavior is not going to stop, because what many of you fail to realize is that they keep on doing this under the guise of doing business, aka commercially trading with your straw man. Number one, the various police departments are corporations. Number two, the individual officers of these corporations are corporations. As each police also have a straw man overlaid on them as well. You got to understand, the only thing communicate with a corporation is a corporation. Everyone has a straw man overlaid on them, whether it be governor, mayor, city councilman, you name it. And their straw man is holding office, not them. Alright, so these police and everybody else is constantly communicating with your artificial, fictitious straw man person. When they kill a brother or sister like that, they are actually salvaging commercial merchandise, which is the artificial person displayed on that state Berth trade agreement, in which they gave you a receipt for that trade agreement, more familiarly known as a birth certificate. BERTH as opposed to BIRTH. Okay, as you know, when you came out that womb, 10 minutes after that, they converted your natural birth into a commercial birth, BERTH. Moving right along, the rapper Jay-Z did this thing for Father's Day where he claimed he wanted to get as many brothers out of jail for Father's Day. This type of band-aid approach is not solving the problem, nor is it thoroughly addressing the true problem. Jay-Z is not exposing or dealing directly with the operation and agenda at hand. And then most likely he's doing this through some sort of corporation that he started or foundation. So he's further doing business where we are the bond servants and customers. You all know Jay-Z ain't doing something for nothing. Okay? He running around here, he owns all these teams and all this stuff. He ain't stupid like you think, but he's fronting because that's not solving the problem for our race right now. And we all know he is where it is. He's a Mason. So how you gonna pretend you're doing something so great by getting a brother out of jail when the police can turn right around and put him in jail the next hour and lock him back up for some made up bogus reason? You see, Jay-Z, you need to stop fronting. You understand? Your power don't mean nothing, man. We need a nationality. We need identity change. We need a lawful nationality, correct identity, proper status, and all that. We need to address the problem and dilemma of the brother being railroaded and framed up on charges in the first place. The same thing a sister did. A sister did this for Mother's Day. A sister claimed she wanted to get as many mothers out of jail. Something she called Black Mama Bailout Day. You know, all of these are they're fronts. They might help for a second, but that's not solving our problem. We need to stop these pigs from being able to touch our people. Not when they touch them and bang them up, and throw them behind bars. They might not even come out. And if they do come out, the trauma is going to stay with them. All that money Jay-Z got, why don't you have some civics classes to show who we are, why we don't need to be even approached by these pigs, and what we need to do not to even be approached, which means nation with enforcement. And the only way we're going to do that again is lawful nationality, correct identity, proper status, rites of passage, blah, blah, blah. He knows that. So we're going to move right along. Let's see what else is going on. the new U.S. dictator Donald Trump is calling for Assad Shakur to be extradited back to North America to face charges on killing a KOP, also known as cop, Klansman on patrol. Alright, this is one of the main reasons I choose to speak on this particular information, because Assad Shakur, name on a state birth certificate being Joanne Chesimard, did not become a U.S. citizen by any fair means. None of us did. But that is the case for absolutely all of us. If you notice, these crackers are always charging a brother or sister with something. Some of you already know that a charge is a debt. And a debt is money. They're making money. Remember this. Remember, they're doing all this under the guise of trading, doing business. But it's crooked. It's fraudulent. It's unfair. And of course, they're charging your straw man legal entity. So all of this is just one big debt collection scheme or debt collection scam. Absolutely everything that the police and ultimately all of these corporate courts charge you with has a commercial monetary sum. All these charges have a set sum, monetary sum, that you can pay if you knew what it was. They ain't telling you what it is because they're doing it through your straw man. They are extorting you, the flesh and blood person, out of a fictitious straw man debt. They are debt collectors and you are being extorted. Look up the word extort. In case you don't have a dictionary, you should. As in mafia style extortion. Well, under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, which is enforced by the Federal Trade Commission in Washington, D.C., it prohibits debt collectors from using abusive, unfair, or deceptive practices to collect debt from a person. Also, under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, a person has the fair right, duty, and responsibility to dispute an alleged debt if there's any doubt that you even contracted to make you. Hold on. If there is any doubt that you contracted to make you bound to that debt, or you just want to make sure that there were no non-disclosures or other concerns when negotiated that may not be in your business interest. I'll say that again. Under the so-called Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, a person has the right, duty, and responsibility to dispute alleged debt if there's any doubt about that contract that you even contracted in the first place. If you have any doubt of the formulation of that contract, you can dispute that thing. Or if you felt there was some non-disclosures, or you just want to review it and take a look at it, there's a process, a disputing process, and you can take a look at that. Or if you just, down the line feel it's not in your business interest, you can go back and renegotiate, avoid it, or whatever. That's the standard procedures in contracts. That's allowed. And the Federal Trade Commission in Washington, D.C. is supposed to address those type of concerns. The main issue of concern, right off the top, in Assad Shakur's case, as well as all other U.S. citizens, is whether this is a fair debt collections practice. When one officially put in dispute on a debt collections matter, the party which is pursuing you for the debt must immediately produce the contract agreement and all debt collection activity on that account completely ceases until all of the points of the dispute is officially addressed and officially decided upon. See, all of this is a contract issue. all natural Asiatics in North America catching pure hell. That's all about a contract issue. Continuing, if Asada Shakur, original name being Joanne Chesimard, dispute the validity of those charges, those bogus police murder charges, based on number one, unfair debt collections, and number two, unfair trade practices, they will lose every time, because all of these charges are based on that state birth trade agreement which fraudulently created the U.S. citizen artificial person in the first place. You do not need a British bar attorney, otherwise known as a squire, to dispute these charges, which are nothing but a debt. You need to dispute these matters in proper person. You meaning you need a lawful nationality, proper status, correct identity, so forth and so on. Continuing, they are extorting and terrorizing Asada Shakur for financial commercial debt, as all crimes are commercial, even murder. All crimes are commercial. In their commercial world, all crimes are commercial. No matter what you think you did, if it's done through that straw man, which it is, it's commercial. It's not a real crime, a de jure crime. Did you all know that there's a monetary sum amount that can be paid to get you out of a murder charge? All of these commercial crimes have a set amount that can be discharged and completely settled. If you notice the words charge and discharge, this entire extortion system is based on the law of electricity, which is energy. It is all energy. They are extorting you. They are extorting all of your physical energy under the guise of doing friendly trade and honest business, which is a lie. It ain't honest trade and friendly business. It's fraud. Non-disclosed is fraud. They didn't tell you about the contracts which made you presume you're doing business. So again, this case with Asada Shakur reflects on absolutely all natural Asiatics in North America. We should be collectively stepping to the United Snakes in a dispute. We should be collectively stepping to the United Snakes, with a dispute on those U.S. citizenship contracts, especially with the divine revelation of exactly what they are doing. Okay, back to your girl Omarosa Manigault, which is the White House aide that actually said that, Donald Trump ain't so bad. We need to come sit down to the table and ask what we want. He ain't so bad after all. Tell him what we want. Like we little retarded children, which is what we are under the guise of minority and black and none of that straw man. But for her to be the house Negro in the yard, in the house, telling the black slaves to come to massa, that's not going to change her position. She still eat lobster and shrimp. Anyway, Omarosa Manigault was proudly working for the White House, and got the nerve to tell so-called black African Americans that they are too harsh on Trump and that they should come to the table and tell Trump what they want. Since she wants to identify herself as supporting this criminal U.S. operation, and she wants to play mediator and arbitrator, which is really gopher, black gopher, go for this and go for that, she can go and facilitate an official White House forum on the massive theft by conversion, perversion, and subversion in direct relation to those lucrative U.S. bonds which are currently held on the many various natural Asiatics in North America. Since she's a black gopher in a white man's house, go for this and go for that, she can go and immediately begin handling that. After all, what will all this mean to her as a house Negro and female dog in a white man's yard? Either way, she's still going to get her steak and gravy and lobster and shrimp She's in the house with the colonial white slave master. Anyway, I'm going to continue right along, expounding and elaborating on the state birth trade agreement topic. There's a saying, a quote here by an Ethiopian emperor named Tewodros II, Tewodros II, Ethiopian emperor. This is a quote from him about war and, you know, the conclusion he came to when they came to his country, the warmongers. This is his quote. I know their game. First, the traders. This is what he's saying whenever he said this back in the day. First, the traders and the missionaries, then the ambassadors, then the cannons, colonial weapons, in parentheses. Then he said it's better just to go straight to the damn guns, to the cannons. See, this is an emperor of an empire talking like this. War. I'll say it again. Tewodros II, Ethiopian emperor, said about the warmongers when they came, and this is the conclusion he came to when he dealt with them. Back in the day, same warmongers warring on you that got you. I know their game. Game, okay? So it's all a game, wicked game. He says, first, the traders and the missionaries. Traders. It's all about trade. They're warring on you through the guise of doing honest trade, and ain't nothing honest about it. That's a tool of warfare. First, the traders and what? The missionaries. No doubt he's talking about them damn Christian missionaries. So they're a tool of war also. They're a tool of war also, whether you know it or not. You should know, because they're doing the same damn thing, going in our hoods with a damn Bible. That's warfare. First, the traders and the missionaries, semicolon. Then what? The ambassadors. See, he's letting you know the levels of warfare, standard warfare that this cracker is doing around the planet on brown-skinned people, and still doing what they've been doing from the beginning, and still doing now, that y'all don't seem to recognize. Okay, then the ambassadors, semicolon. Then the cannons, in parentheses, colonial weapons, meaning guns, missiles, vaccinations, army, artillery, ships, nuclear submarines. Then he just said it's better to go straight to the cannons, meaning cut the bullshit. Don't bullshit me and divert me with the light stuff, the okie doke. Damn Christian missionaries coming in giving you damn Girl Scout cookies and shit, knowing they got an agenda for war. They warring on you. In other words, a soft kill. Don't come at me soft and then kill me. Go ahead, let's just go straight to war. That's what this brother's saying. That's what this brother's saying. He ain't talking no sissy soft punk bullshit about turn the other cheek. Ain't no concept of no damn non-violent resistance. Ain't no such thing in war. No such thing. Non-violent student committee. When you say non-violent, you ain't at war. I don't know what war you at. Okay, this brother said it's better straight to go to guns, meaning come in straight. So I know you warn on me, so I can go ahead and warn you. Let's just get it on. Don't come in bullshitting me like you trying to trade, which is a style of war or a level of war, and bring your Christian missionaries in, tell me about God that I already know. Me being a God, serving the Most High God. In other words, we knew God before you came, so you bullshitting me. You ain't giving me God, goddamn it, when I am God and I know God. This is how you got to treat this crack around this planet, and that's what's taking place right now. Don't even let them in the door. When they come to the door, start busting at them, because it's going to lead you that any goddamn way. So-called blacks and Negroes in North America, you keep letting this cracker in your psyche. When he's documented to have done the same thing every way he been since he's been doing it for a long time to black and brown aboriginals anywhere on this planet. I'm giving you a quote from an Ethiopian damn emperor. Ethiopia being Kush, again, land of Kush, where you from, which is where Mu is, Mu Atlantis. All these empires are really remnants of Mu. And when I try to tell you Moors, M-U-U-R, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Which is a variation of Moors, M-O-O-R-S, and M-A-U-R-S. And the first ignorant response you can come up with, oh, them Moors in Spain sold us out. Okay, so this brother is a Moor, Tewodros II. And that's his quote. I know their game. First the traders and the missionaries, semicolon, then the ambassadors. Meaning they send the diplomats in to continue to bullshit you. Another level of war, semicolon, then the cannons, which are colonial weapons. And his brother says it's better to go straight to the cannons. That's a man speaking. Damn it, let's get it on. Let's get to the guns. Let's get the busing. Continuing, the ancient art and craft of commercial trade, which is commerce, otherwise known as business, has been transformed into the modern art/craft of commercial war. Let me say that again and get this through your head. The ancient art/craft of commercial trade, and in parentheses, commercial trade is otherwise known as commerce, otherwise known as business, has been transformed into the modern art/craft of commercial war. Trade wars are still in full effect, as evidenced by your state Berth trade agreement. Remember, Berth being B-E-R-T-H, not B-I-R-T-H. The slave trade has never ended for the economic benefit of human labor for profit. The slave trade has never ended for the economic benefit of human labor for profit. Human labor, aka human resources, which it says on your birth certificate that you are a human resource. It says it on your birth certificate. That's what human labor is. Slave labor, free wealth for profit. Remember, the land is the basis of power. These wars, trade wars, they claim they're doing business, is to get the land, natural land, known as natural resources, and the natural human labor, also known as human resources. That's it. You get them two anywhere on this earth, and you rule, and you make the people slaves. Continuing. One can become a modern-day slave knowingly or unknowingly by the signing of a commercial contract, better known as a commercial agreement, aka trade agreement. Definition of trade as a noun, the business of buying and selling or bartering commodities. Definition of trade as a verb, to engage in the exchange, purchase, or sale of goods. Definition of trade agreement. This is all coming from a Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Definition of trade agreement, it says see collective labor agreement. Then you go to the term collective labor agreement, and it says, see trade agreement. But collective labor agreement, definition of collective labor agreement is a bargaining agreement as to wages and conditions of work entered into by groups of employees, usually organized into a brotherhood or union on one side, and groups of employers or corporations on the other side. Very interesting. Groups of employers or corporations on the other side. Okay, employer, modern day word for employer is slave master. Employee is slave. Employer, slave master. Okay, it says employers or corporations on the other side. So you got the people on one side. In other words, you got employees on one side, employers on the other side us against them. Anyway, the definition of labor is work, semicolon, toil, semicolon, service. So when you laboring, you're in service to something. You're working, toiling, and you're in service, as in servitude, slave servitude, subjugation, servant, slave. Okay, the word wage as a noun is payment for labor or payment for services, usually according to what? Contract. So if you're earning a wage, there's a contract there, and most likely, of course, you're doing it through your straw man. So it's all back to that state birth trade agreement, which you know is a birth certificate, which is in very much a contract. It's a trade agreement, trade contract. Continuing, how did all of this legal trickery and legal slickery begin? The de jure United States of America Republic dealt with law of the natural land. LAW, law of the natural land. Only natural flesh and blood, real live people, sentient beings, can naturally interact with natural land. Natural peoples of the natural land have nationalities. On the natural land, regarding the natural peoples of the natural lands, there is a natural hereditary caste system which naturally determines the order of natural rights of the natural people. Natural peoples have unalienable or unalienable creator/creatress given birthrights, which operate in the capacity known as the private. The private, not the public. Okay? So that's important, because let me say this right now, that there's a brother out here with I guess it's an organization called the Thor Ministry, and his name is Sharif. I ended up getting his email or something, and I emailed him with some information. But I have to say this because, he's got some good information, but white people don't have the same standing. Unnatural, genetically recessive, pale-faced white people do not have and will not ever have the same standing of the original, natural, genetically dominant, melanin-rich people nowhere on this natural earth. Okay, we trump them, and I love that word, trump. We the goddamn Donald Trump. The hell with Trump. Trump's playing tricks. We got the Trump card, and our DNA and our damn genetics. First in time is first in line. That genetically pale person is the last strain of civilization on this planet. We got the parent genes. That's what gives us the Trump card. They are the child. And that brother Sharif with his Thor ministry is concocted some term, a consumerium, whatever the hell that is. In his position is that somehow white people got the same status we got. No, they don't. To a certain extent, they've been made 14th Amendment white people, 14th Amendment black people, all one and the same, because they're not even a person. The 14th Amendment person is artificial, so that's equal. But when we get in our proper status, we trump them on this land mass, and this whole fraud was against us first. We got the most weight, commercial weight, not them. They've been slaves anyway. So that's what I want to say, and I'm going to continue. But this Thor ministry, the brother he knows what he's talking about, because if you look at I listened to his last blog talk like Thursday. I think he does a blog talk every Thursday. I downloaded the last one because I communicate with him, and somehow he ain't coming straight because he won't even speak back to me. I stepped to him honorably and sent him some documents. I ain't heard from him since. That's how I know he got an ulterior motive that's not for our people. So he's telling a half truth, but his blog talk, he's right on point, and he knows what the hell he's talking about when he's talking about the police are dogs and the corporations are our creations that we gotta do something with these corporations, and only we can, being flesh and blood people. He knows that, but he's got some type of Moorish background in him, and he knows what the hell I'm talking about. Because when I sent him a proposal of what we should be as a nation of Moors, he called it nonsense. Okay, so that's how I knew, and I stepped to him and asked him to explain what the hell is nonsense. Okay, he's on this commercial stuff that everyone can revert back to the same. No, we're not the same. I'm talking genotype, phenotype, and blood type and DNA. That's gonna trump this cracker. When we get now a proper person, he knows very well. I know he knows, especially with a name like Sharif. He ain't no dummy. Okay, whatever his motive is to get them Federal Reserve notes, I don't know what it is, but y'all can check him out. But that's what I had to say, because when you talk about when you talk about a natural hereditary caste system before the cracker was even on this earth, first in time is first in line. The original people with the parent genes are documented to be in existence anywhere from 1 million to 3 million years. Okay, the unnatural, genetically recessive, pale white people, Euro-Albions, is documented to only be here the most 40,000. I heard 6,000, 15,000, 40,000. You can't compare no 40,000 years to no damn million years, 3 million years. There's a natural hereditary caste system in place, nature put in place. And I know he knows that. And that's what's going down. Because when we get right, everybody ought to get in line, especially including this freak race of damn white people. And they're not from us directly, they're from us indirectly. Somebody then there's an authorized act took place. They didn't come from the natural womb of original human procreating with a natural original woman. They're not a natural progression. Okay, somebody did some freak accidents or something, genetic experiments to get them or whatever. But we ain't the same. So that's what I want to say to you, Brother Sharif. You'll get this message because you got a lot of followers in your Thor ministry that you're telling the half truth, because white people can't be what we are. When we get in our right status, we trump everybody, especially including them on this earth. So now I'm going to continue. Where I left off at is natural peoples have an unalienable creator/creatress given birthright, which operate in the capacity known as the private. So all this public talk, that's the trick of the trade. That's the sleight of the hand, public. Natural people exist in the private, always. Public is talking about that straw man, which is what we need to get up out of. I'm going to continue. Artificial, fictitious, corporate things, such as fictitious people, do not and cannot ever interact with natural land or anything of natural substance. Y'all need to understand this, because this is the basis of our dilemma here in North America. Talking to you, natural Asiatic, with the parent genes. I'm not talking to damn unnatural white people. They on their own. They got to get in where they fit in. I'm talking to you with the most responsibility, because it's coming back around to you ruling. You lost your responsibility. What they say, with more power, more responsibilities given. It's you. Continuing. Artificial, fictitious, corporate things, such as fictitious people, do not, cannot, and will not ever have any natural rights. The absolutely only rights in which an artificial, fictitious, corporate thing, such as a fictitious person, can ever have, understand this, is imaginary make-believe rights that only exist in the state-created operational capacity known as the public. Serious differentiation between public and private. You don't want nothing to do with no damn public, because that's the trick of the trade, the legal trickery and legal slickery, that damn public arena that they ushered in with the 14th Amendment. Now I'm going to continue. The U.S. Civil War. I'm not going to say American Civil War. It wasn't no American Civil War. It was a U.S. Civil War. The Civil War was fomented by the unseen hand, and I put in parentheses, the Jesuits of Rome, in order to commercially conquer the natural lands of continental North America and the natural peoples of the natural lands of continental North America. Proof of that, because I don't deal with no facts and opinions. I don't deal with opinions and belief. I deal with facts that I purport to be verifiable. If a fact ain't verifiable, it ain't a fact. So I'm going to try to give you a verification when I say something is a fact. And if the verification is in error, then, you know what I mean, don't hold me wrong, because I'm going off the verification. Again, the U.S. Civil War was fomented by the unseen hand, Jesuits of Rome, in order to commercially conquer the natural lands of continental North America and the natural peoples of the natural lands of continental North America. Proof of that is a PDF called How America Became a Jesuit Enclave. That's not the full title, but that's what it's saying. How America became what? A Jesuit enclave. And if y'all don't know who the Jesuits are, the full name is Society of Jesus. And they don't give a damn about no Jesus, because the whole Christianity, like Brother Malcolm X said, is a political tool to wedge their way into criminal conquests. And that's exactly what took place during the Civil War, when they shot Abraham Lincoln in the head. The Jesuits fomenting that war behind the scenes, okay, so they can do what? Commercially conquer North America, your mind and your behind. And that's exactly what they did, which is why we're in the condition we're in now. So again, PDF, How America Became a Jesuit Enclave. You can get that by going to http://granddesignexposed.com/PDF/Barbelon, BARBELON.PDF. I suggest you go to that and check it out for yourself. See it for yourself. How America Became a Jesuit Enclave, http://granddesignexposed.com/PDF/Barbelon, BARBELON.PDF. Also read chapter 59 of the book called 50 Years in the Church of Rome. 50 Years in the Church of Rome by Charles Chiniquy. Or Chiniquy, whatever. Just go straight to chapter 59, because the book is probably about 400 pages. It's a lot of reading, and you know our people, hate to say it, unfortunately don't read enough of anything, let alone this type of material. But you can get this book is free on PDF, the whole book. And like I said, I suggest you go directly to chapter 59, because it's going to tell you what took place with them damn Jesuits right here on this landmass. And between these two references, you'll know who the Jesuits is and what they have done and what's going on right now that's kicking your behind, because they're doing it under the guise of the Christian religion. Okay, whether you know it or not, your boy Trump, Donald Chump, you know what I mean, is a Jesuit agent. He went to Jesuit universities. You want to know the power behind him? Okay, he didn't went to see the Pope. What is that telling you? The Pope called him in, his boy. Anytime he got all this power, but when the Pope summons your ass, you got to be there. So who got the power? The Catholic Christian Pope. Okay, and there's a photo going around where Trump is French kissing the Pope, which I know the Pope didn't like that. That's why the Pope got this sour puss on his face when Trump went to see him. He ain't smiling and giggling, because they gig is up. Everybody know who the unseen hand is, damn it. And it is that damn Antichrist, the Pope. And Trump is the Pope's boy. Christianity, that's what it is. Trump claims to be some variation of Christian. So The link to that book, 50 Years in the Church of Rome, which I'm suggesting you read chapter 59, is http://ardicbeacon.com/books/Chiniquy, which is CHINIQUY -50 _years _in _the _church _of _Rome. So http://ardicbeacon.com/books/Chiniquy -50 _years _in _the _church _of _Rome. Oh, there's more too after Rome. -1886 -not NOT, all capital letters, NOT -BKMRKD.PDF. That's the full link. So that's verification of a Christian conquest that's going on right now. It's always been an inquisition on who? The Moors, whether you say MOORS, MUUR, or MAUR, and all heathens, heretics, pagans, terrorists. That's why they always got a name that they falsely naming someone. Terrorists, heathens, non-Christians, basically. That's why Trump or Chump got a damn travel ban against 7 Asiatic Africoid countries from the Middle East that he want to call Muslim countries. That's an inquisition. He's doing a Christian bidding, a Christian crusade again against the Moors, which y'all don't understand is still going on. Rome against the Ottoman Empire. They're so scared of Islam. Okay, everybody ain't Muslim, but they're so scared of Islam. How you gonna ban 6 or 7 countries, melanin-rich people? The word Muslim is a code word for melanin-rich person of original people of this planet. Simple as that. So it's not only religious, it's racist, which is Christianity, racist religion. All right. So that's what it's all about. Continuing. All of this bogus debt on the world is coming from the Catholic Christian Pope, aka papal. And the word papal, first 4 letters is Papa. So aka Papa, also known as Big Papa, also known as Big Daddy, also known as Father, also known as Godfather on earth. Let me say that again. Getting back to the state birth trade agreement that we're all in. It's all about the collection of a debt. All of this bogus debt, not fair debt, not valid debt, not true debt. And if it ain't true, it's false. All of this bogus debt on the world. It's not just North America. North America is just the grand scheme. North America is just the prize piece. They've been always wanting to get America, commercially conquer North America, which they did with the Civil War and the killing of Abraham Lincoln, assassination, Jesuit assassination of Abraham Lincoln. All of this bogus debt on the world. You better follow the world. Greece, Brazil, they are doing the world. This is their new world order, new world of bogus debt on human beings on the planet. All of this bogus debt on the world is coming from the Catholic Christian Pope. Catholic Christian Pope. Okay? Which concocted this Christianity through Constantine, which is nothing but a religious ideology that they give you of a man on a cross, S-O-N, when it's really about the Christ being S-U-N. Pope, also known as papal. First 4 letters of papal being Papa, so also known as Papa, also known as Big Papa, also known as Big Daddy, also known as Father, also known as Godfather on earth. This bastard got a nerve to claim he's the only damn sovereign flesh and blood person on earth. So what's that telling you? That you are by default. If he makes a claim he's only sovereign, what can you be according to that proclamation but a subject? Just letting you know what's kicking your behind. That's called coming out to the surface. And Trump is his boy. Trump is his agent. Continuing, nature deals in credit. Nature deals in credit. The Pope, aka Catholic Christian Pope, and his perverted system deals in what? Debt. Unnatural debt. Nature deals in credit. The Pope and his perverted system deals in unnatural debt. You know, all this debt is unnatural. Continuing, the Constitution for the United States of America Republic contain the sacred essential elements of natural law, divine law, spiritual law, moral law, and ancient law handed down by the ancient ones, which is you and your ancestors, which was designed not to allow any unlawful encroachment of foreign subjugation of North America. The absolute only thing that would and could suspend law, LAW, would be some great catastrophic event or great crisis such as a natural disaster or unnatural disaster in the form of a manufactured crisis which is orchestrated by man, otherwise known as a man-made war. Y'all need to understand that very clearly. The absolute only thing that wouldn't suspend law would be some great catastrophic event or great catastrophic crisis such as a natural disaster, earthquake or whatever. If it's nature, if it's natural, some kind of cataclysmic event, earthquake, those happen. Planetary shift, law is automatically stopped or suspended because humans got to deal with that event. Ain't nothing you can do, especially if it's natural. Earthquake, something humans don't have no control of. But another crisis would be a manufactured crisis, which is unnatural. Okay, unnatural disaster, manufactured crisis. And you know that's happening all over the place like a 9/11. Okay, like these bombings. You don't know if there's CIA London bombings where the CIA hypnotized someone with a Muslim name to do this type of shit. You don't know. You don't know. Okay? Manufactured crisis, interesting word. First three letters is man. Manufactured crisis, which is orchestrated by a man, not nature. Otherwise known as a man-made war. And it ain't nothing but wars going on, been going on for the last, come on, what, how many centuries? War after war, they keep a war. Why? Because war is their reason to suspend law and bring in their order. Out of chaos comes order. War is chaos, man-made chaos, to bring in man-made order, aka New World Order. Whether you all know about the concept of war, the U.S. president, every U.S. president since they shot Lincoln in the head, and Lincoln after him, there was one more president that tried to get back on track. That what Lincoln was talking about. They got him out the way too. They didn't kill him. They just let him get out the way because he tried to really continue what Lincoln was doing, which is restore law and restore lawful money. And them bankers got him. Just like the bankers got JFK. Okay, Lincoln tried to, you know what I mean, whether he liked you or not, so-called blacks or not, he tried to stop this chaos of secrets and stuff. And you see he got shot in his head, the U.S. president. Just like they shot JFK in the head, the U.S. president. And they'll shoot anybody, they'll get anybody else too. Barack Obama, who, if he don't walk the line, they'll get his ass too. They'll put his head on a damn, on a meat stick in front of you to let you know he ain't in control. But anyway, when a U.S. president comes in as the president and chief executive officer of this corporation that was created in 1871 after they killed Lincoln. Every U.S. president, when they come in the door, whether you notice or not, must do two things. They must, number one, reconfirm whatever war has been going on before they got in there. They must immediately reconfirm that war, that war is still going on. If there ain't no war, damn it, they got to make one instantly, but they ain't even got to do that. All they got to do is just confirm the existing one, because these devils do everything through war. War is their science of creating an entitlement where there was no entitlement. Okay, so that's the one. Every U.S. president must, whether he do it in writing or verbal, or whether you see it, him do it or not, him or her, they must reconfirm that whatever war has been going on, is still officially on. Number one. Number two, they must reconfirm the damn welfare to non-valid, non-authentic modern day Israel. Them white fake imposter Jews, fake Jews, European converts to Judaism. He must do that. Confirm the damn monies, the gratuities of your damn tax dollars to them damn psychotic, hook-nosed, blue-eyed, green-eyed devils in the damn Middle East, Africa, East Asia, or Asia, that have no damn business over there. So what's that telling you? That coming in the door, he got to do those two things, whether you see him do it or not. And he usually confirms that to Israel at an AIPAC convention. You know, Israel got this, you heard of AIPAC, American Israel, whatever. Okay, I've seen the president speak at a couple of them already, Condoleezza Rice and certain Negroes. But anyway, when he comes in the door, he must do two things off the bat. Reconfirm war and reconfirm that damn money to Israel. And actually, he always adds more every time the president come in there adding, I don't know, they probably give 33 million or billion to Israel, or your damn tax dollars. So what's that telling you? Do the math. Okay, continuing. The brutal Roman policy systems has long time despised and abhorred, meaning hated, any laws of any nations of people. And they know that they cannot infiltrate and rule without that law being completely demolished. The U.S. Civil War did just that. Created the ideal opportunity for a foreign power to creep in, invade, and commercially rule under the deceptive guise of honorably trading with the people. See, trading. They're doing it under the guise of trading, deceptive guise of trading. Not that that's what they're doing. They're doing it under the guise, the semblance of trading, which it ain't trading at all. It's actually fraud. When in reality, the people's natural lands, which are natural resources, and their natural labor, which are human resources, were stolen from them. In other words, the natural peoples and the natural lands were stolen from them. Hold on. In other words, the natural peoples and the natural lands were brutally conquered. Conquest, as in Spanish conquistadors, which worked for the Pope, Spanish monarch. Basically, it was theft by conversion. Get that in your brain. That's what all of this bullshit is. Theft by conversion, theft by subversion, and theft by perversion. Theft by any other name, damn it, is still theft. I don't care how you did it, how clever you did it, whether you did it with a drone or whether you did it with a robot, whether you did it with a utility or an instrument, it's still stealing. All right, continuing. The unconstitutional 14th Amendment created an artificial, fictitious public person, otherwise known as the Latin term ens legis, creature of the law, which is evident by its trade name being displayed in the grammatical style of all capital letters, also known as a war name / name of war, otherwise referred to in Latin as a nom de guerre, name of war, because you are at war. Okay? Unseen hand creeping in 1871. We already told you who it was. The Jesuits of Rome warred on you, is warring on you. That was an act of war. The whole U.S. corporation unconstitutionally being created in 1871 was a war on you. Evidence of war on you. And it's still a war on you. It's getting turned up and it's getting ugly. And it's coming to an apex. With you or without you. Because it then turned cosmic. That's what I'm all about. The hell with the earth. Earth is part of the cosmos. Continuing. The absolute only reason and purpose of existence for the 14th Amendment U.S. public person is to be a taxable debtor public person, not private, public, in order to be responsible for the artificial, fictitious, Vatican-sponsored U.S. public debt, which is currently in the present year of 2017 AD approximately $20 trillion. And it's going to keep rising because that's what they're using to keep you in place, putting you in all this damn inhumane debt that you can't pay. And then when you can't pay, they come in and smash your eyeballs out through this damn debt that you ain't got enough sense to distance yourself from. $20 trillion last time I heard. Now, you know how many zeros that is? You put that on paper, 20 trillion. Some of you probably can't even count that high. Don't even know how many zeros to put. Especially you ones with these master degrees, you got your 4-year degrees. Do yourself a test and put $20 trillion on paper and see if you get the zeros right. And you know your boy Obama added a 10 trillion, a cool 10 trillion right on the debt. And y'all think he's so beautiful, you know, his doo-doo don't stink. You see, he's the black savior. Bullshit. He put you Negroes in more debt. And while he's smiling all ear to ear. You understand? So, yo, it ain't personal with them and it's principle. He just bought an $8 million damn mansion. And our women around here, goddamn homeless. Homelessness is on the rise with natural Asiatics. Woman got us begging. Woman, original woman of civilization out here begging on welfare. Come on. Shooting her babies. Shooting her men right in front of her and her child. But you still excited about damn Obama, the black token. Him and his black token wife and family. You know, I ain't falling for it no more. Okay? So, $20 trillion in U.S. debt. And you're a U.S. citizen. Now, you know that debt gets broken down, divided into every dumb U.S. citizen who thinks they're a U.S. citizen. You owe that debt. They just break that down and divide it up. You got your share of the debt and you can't pay. They're going to smash your eyeballs out, which they're doing right now. They're going to get paid one way or the other. So the debt continues and will grow as the commercial war elevates on North America and the world. It's a war debt that nobody owns, but everybody's been made into straw people. Continuing. In Section 4 of the unconstitutional 14th Amendment, it clearly says the validity of the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned. This is in the Constitution. Even though the 14th Amendment is a dead badge of law. 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, directly after the Jesuits killed Lincoln, they're the ones implementing this bullshit. The validity of the what? Public debt, not private debt. People existed in the private before the U.S. Civil War. Now, this word public then crept in. The validity of the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned. Now, let me say this at this time. Give y'all a little civics lesson. It need to be said, because this shit is out of control. My understanding is public and private. Under United States of America Republic, the government, the de jure government, meaning the constitutional government that was set up really by the Moors and Native Americans. Okay? When you take a position in the de jure government of the United States of America Republic, You are in the public. You are a public servant, which is working to keep the private rights of the people. The people stay in the private. You are a public officer, being a statesman and a stateswoman of the de jure United States of America Republic. When you take that position, you're in the public and you are a public servant and a public officer. It has nothing to do with the people. And your job is to make sure the people keep their private rights. Nobody went public because you went public. You under public scrutiny. You under public scrutiny. Everything you do is scrutinized. Everybody got a piece of you. You're a servant. But you serve the people you voluntarily chose for. Okay? So continuing, this word, concept, and capacity, which is now being introduced as the public, had no presence in regard to state republic citizens. Citizens with a capital C, not no small c, which is the de jure citizen. Nowhere in the organic 7 articles of the Constitution for the United States of America Republic, that word public had no presence in regard to state republic citizens. Nor the 12 constitutional amendments of the Constitution for the United States of America Republic and all treaties made. So the only amendments that are lawful is them 12 amendments, like the Bill of Rights, which are like 10 articles, and then there's 2 more that was added, constitutional, which is a total of 12. Okay, the 13th, 14th, and 15th is the unseen hand in effect. Okay, under the 7 articles of under the 7 organic articles of the Constitution for the United States of America Republic, the state Republican citizens existed in the private. Their private capacities are respected and protected at all times by public officials, meaning the government, the de jure government. Okay, and in the Bill of Rights, people were private. Natural people are in the private. White people had a nationality, which put them in the private. Moors had a nationality through a treaty on this land, which put them in the damn private through a treaty. Nobody was in the public. People, natural people, are not in the public. Okay, this newly introduced word, concept, and capacity known as the public shows a new covert agenda being established by an unseen hand, which have no intentions in respecting private birthrights, land rights, property rights, human rights, etc. The 13th, 14th, and 15th unconstitutional amendments are their tricks of the trade. Continuing, logic, reasoning, and common sense would tell that if they are going to purport to make an artificial, fictitious, corporate, public person, they obviously must make artificial, fictitious, corporate, public jurisdictions, public governments, public laws, public courts, public money, etc. What's on the left got to be on the right. That's law. Okay, if you already remember the children's fable, there once was a crooked man who walked the crooked mile. Okay, that children's story has a very clear motive in it, and it's got everything to do with what I'm talking about. There once was a crooked man who walked the crooked mile. The adjective here is crooked. Once was a crooked man, walked a crooked mile, then it went further, say he had a crooked house, crooked cat, crooked cane. You see, what's on the left's got to be on the right. There was a crooked man, and everything he had to be crooked. Walked a crooked mile, had a crooked house. You go back and look at that children's story, and the moral of the story is exactly what we're talking about here. When they created that public person out of their mischief, and when unseen hand created a public person, that public person had to have public laws, public courts, public money, as opposed to the natural person having natural laws, natural money. Okay, natural person don't spend public money. Natural is private. So natural is private, unnatural is public. So basically, again, if they create a public person, they had to create public jurisdictions, public governments, laws, courts to deal with that public. Only obviously a public person can deal with public courts and public anything else. That's what the moral of the story. So the corporate public jurisdiction for this new artificial fictitious corporate public person is a state corporation, such as State of Ohio Corporation, as opposed to Ohio State Republic. This is the tricks of the trade. I'm telling you in your face what it is. I'm giving it to you straight, no chasing. Okay, I don't have to hide it and make it into no damn Masonic equation and riddles and all that bullshit. The time we in now is very serious. I'm making it plain. What the hell you in, natural Asiatic in North America? Like I said, I ain't talking for damn genetically recessive white people. They got to get in where they fit it. I'm talking to you with the parent genes, because only you can clean this damn thing up when you get your mind right. The corporate public jurisdiction for this new artificial fictitious corporate public person is the state corporation, such as State of Ohio Corporation, as opposed to Ohio State Republic, along with the many various sub-agency municipality corporations designated as corporate counties, such as County of Cook, corporate cities, such as City of Chicago, corporate towns, such as Township of Windsor, corporate boroughs, such as Borough of Brooklyn, and corporate villages, such as Village of Emerson. These are all public jurisdictions, meaning a private person can't deal directly with no public jurisdiction, only a public person. Understood that? Continuing. These new unconstitutional state corporations which operate in this newly created public jurisdiction are assumed to have federated in some type of new corporate confederacy in a new corporate union known as the United States Federal Corporation of February 21st, 1871, which is a new government strictly for the District of Columbia. For the District of Columbia, which you know is Washington, D.C., and not for we the people. Therefore, the corporate public government for this new artificial fictitious 14th Amendment corporate public person is the de facto United States Federal Corporation, as opposed to the de jure United States of America Republic. Continue, the corporate public money for this new artificial fictitious 14th Amendment corporate public person is U.S. debt obligation Federal Reserve fiat currency notes, as opposed with money of natural substance. Continuing, the corporate public laws for this new artificial fictitious 14th Amendment corporate public person is the Uniform Commercial Codes. Uniform Commercial Code. And you know, codes are not laws, which equates to what? Corporate policy, artificial rules, fictitious regulations, Wizard of Oz statutes, and color of law ordinances. All this regulates that new public fictitious person. Continuing, the corporate public courts for this new artificial fictitious 14th Amendment corporate public person are Admiralty Maritime Courts, which deal with commercial trade laws under the law of contract. Another word for contract, of course, is agreement, as in state birth trade agreement. Evidence of these corporate courts would be the yellow gold fringe flag in the courtroom, which is telling you that you are in which is telling you that they are commercially operating under the commercial laws of the high seas, the law of vessels on water, trading and commerce. These courts are foreign to the natural organic land and foreign to the natural people of the natural organic land. Continuing, Your state birth trade agreement contract created an artificial, fictitious legal entity, corporate person, in which this fictitious person is a debtor, taxpayer, wage earner, income earner, employee, office front, folder, U.S. citizen, U.S. person, U.S. vessel, U.S. trader, U.S. merchant, U.S. laborer, U.S. subject, U.S. trust person, U.S. federal person, constituent, resident, consumer, customer, transmitting utility, conduit, front man, straw man, fueling rod or fishing rod, Energizer battery or Duracell battery, dummy corporation, Sesui Trust, etc. That person fits all those titles. Now, the definition of office, again from Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, right to exercise public or private employment. Office. And one of the titles earlier I gave you, the straw man is an office front. It's an office front. It's a fake office created for you, the flesh and blood man, to serve as a surety for that damn office. So the definition of office is right to exercise public or private employment. In this case, we're talking about public employment. Private's gone out the window with the creation with the United States Federal Corporation of 1871. So that's in the definition of office, right to exercise public or private employment, and we're talking about public employment. In other words, you don't have a job. Your straw man has a job. They're doing everything through your straw man because your employer is a corporation. Your employer is most definitely a corporation. Everything's a corporation. Name what's not a corporation. The daycare, all forms of entertainment, supermarkets, water companies, mortgage companies. Your government's a corporation. That's really when everything went down here, when the government became a corporation. Everything to match with that corporate artifice, that artificial person on your birth certificate. Okay, talking about your job and employers, I must mention is, do you all understand that, talking about trading, commercial trading, do you know when you get a job, fill that paper out, which is commercial paper, commercial item, again, contract. You're putting that straw man on there, you're putting that straw man's social security on there, and you're signing. So you just gave that corporation power of attorney really to go into your private bond account. Do you understand you're paying your own self when you get a job? You're paying your own salary because that corporation has nothing to give you. They're going into your private bond account and giving you whatever you negotiate. If they gave you a job as a stock clerk working at a supermarket, giving you $7 or $9 an hour stocking shelves, they're paying you your own money. If you knew that, then why would you not negotiate $1,000 an hour to stock shelves, or $2,000, since it's all coming out of your private bond account? You see, so you keep that in the back of your mind that when you get a job, the shenanigans, the mischief that's going on, they're robbing you, and they giving you your own money. They're shortchanging you, undercutting you with your own money. Nobody takes a job for no $9 an hour when they know they're paying themselves. If I'm paying myself, then damn it, give me whatever I say an hour, if it's my money. So they're extorting you there, or they're using you there. But anyway, definition of officer, continuing. Definition of officer: the incumbent of an office, one who is lawfully invested with an office, one who is charged by a superior power, and particularly by government, with the power and duty of exercising certain functions. All right, so I just gave you the definition of office and officer. The U.S. President / CEO, which stands for Chief Executive Officer. So the president is nothing but an officer of an office, a dummy corporation. Okay, and commander in chief. I say U.S. President, CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and Commander in Chief, as he was selected. Donald Trump or Donald Gump. unconstitutionally created a new office at the White House known as the Office of American Innovation, which will be ran by Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who already unconstitutionally serves as senior advisor to Trump. This newly created Office of American Innovation will be staffed by former business executives, capitalist criminals, who will be given wide-ranging dictatorship-style authority to overhaul federal bureaucracy and even privatize some of the government's functions, which is already corporations. In relation to this new office, capital criminal Jared Kushner stated, "The government should be run like a great American company." This is out of the mouth of these devils. This is how much revealing they're doing. They ain't holding nothing back. This is out of the mouth of Jared Kushner. The government should be run like a great American company. Our hope is that we can achieve successes and efficiencies for our customers, who are what? The citizens. Okay? So he's telling you you're a customer of their corporation, and a customer is nothing but a citizen. When did it become that? Did it become that? All right. Continuing. I say, first of all, the de jure United States of America Republic has been hijacked by the unseen hand ever since February 21st, 1871. This means that absolutely all of the current officers, staff, employees, office personnel, congresspersons, etc. are de facto, meaning without proper constitutional authority, which makes them all imposters and foreigners pretending to be the de jure government of, for, and by the people. Secondly, absolutely every office within the de jure United States of America Republic was constitutionally created and constitutionally authorized. This means that the person would have to be constitutionally elected, not appointed, as an officer of that particular office. Only a state public citizen person of the de jure USA Republic would meet the constitutional requirements to hold a constitutionally created office. Thirdly, America is not a nation, America is not a country, America is not a corporation, and America is not a business. Therefore, America does not have any citizens, consumers, or customers, or constituents. America is a contemporary derivative name of the ancient Amaru, or better known as Mu. Okay, and it applies to 2 of the world's 7 continents, an isthmus, and adjoining islands. That's what America is, a continental landmass. These devils then hijacked the damn continent and made it their business, and only got it now where the only thing you can do is pathetically patronize their damn business. How did they do that to the people? How did they do it? 1871. That's how they did it. February 21st, through the Jesuits of Rome. They done flipped this thing. Continuing, so all of these pale-faced parasites in Washington, D.C. are clearly not operating in the true American interests of the true American people. These unnatural European bloodsuckers are doing what? Extorting you for a foreign power and a foreign interest. That foreign power and foreign interest being none other than the Queen, albino vampire bitch of England, and the pale-faced white Christian Pope by way of the Roman Catholic Christian Church. Now you want to refute that, you do so, and go tell your pastor to refute it. He ain't gonna do it because he's actually an agent of the Mother Church of Rome. He's selling your ass down the river because he deals with that straw man through his 501c3 corporation that's tax exempt with the Pope. So he ain't telling you the truth. I'm giving you more truth than he ever gave you, and I ain't asked you for one dime. And you check out who's who. I say, Mama Maxine Waters, continuing. Mama Maxine Waters, U.S. Congressman, appropriately stated that Donald Trump should be impeached and that his advisors are scumbags. Now, I'm not, I don't subscribe to none of them congresswomen and congressmen because they all millionaires They sitting in there getting that gravy. But for Maxine Waters to say this again, that's coming from the original Mother Earth, the mother. Whether she goes through with it or get anything done, I doubt it, because their jobs are front. But that's what she said. Since when did the natural people of this natural organic continental American landmass begin to be referred to as customers, consumers, constituents, etc.? Consumers patronize a business. Or shall I say customers patronize a business. And business is conducted through a corporation. Continuing, the Vatican-owned, papal-sponsored United States Federal Corporation, created in the year 1871, which is a foreign business, is covertly operating under the guise of conducting innocent, honorable, friendly trade with the natural people of North America. But in reality, the United States Federal Corporation represents a Roman papal conquest and a Roman papal takeover of the natural land, natural resources, and natural human labor. Human labor, otherwise known as human resources. Continuing, the state birth trade agreement contract, by way of non-disclosure, was frauded unknowingly upon the natural Asiatic original Hue woman. And I say Hue woman, the natural woman with full melanin hue pigmentation in her skin, which resulted in her trading or exchanging the natural energy and natural substance of her natural child for the perceived benefit and privilege of the natural child, acquiring corporate security and corporate protections in the form of socialist security, which turned out to be social order for social control. Another word for social control is the present system of socialism, also known as communism, also known as fascism, also known as the New World Nazi social order of fascist socialism. And I put here, note, Google and research a document entitled Benevolence and Social Control, advice from the Children's Bureau in the early 20th century by Emily K. Abel. And I also put in this note, if you would notice the name associated with the social control document for the U.S. Children's Bureau, the surname or family name Abel, another variation of Abel being Able Men. Okay. That surname is known to be of modern day non-authentic, non-valid European Jew, J-E-W, or Jewish descent, who practice political Zionism, which is used as a political tool to wedge into criminal conquest. Just like Christianity is a tool for their counterparts, Europeans, to wedge their way into criminal conquest, political Zionism is used by these cracker-faced Jews, same colonizers of Euro-Albion descent. They're using that as a tool for criminal conquest in Middle East Africa. So they're both counterparts of the same Albion, colonizing Albion. All right. U.S. monopoly game, fiat currency notes are Khazarian Jew, Rothschild banker, commercial script, usury money. I keep hitting these fake Jews because you're going to have to deal with them. You're going to have to deal with them one way or the other. You say, shit is coming to blows, and they playing the scenes, but see, the creator got a way of bringing their ass to the surface. When you hit the U.S., which we got to do, and you say hit, bring their secrets to the surface, them damn Jews gonna bark and they gonna come to the surface because they both one and the same. They behind the scenes controlling the U.S. It says here in that same note, if you take a look at the United States seal found on the back of the U.S. fiat dollar over the eagle's head, up close you will notice 13 stars arranged in the hex alpha dual trine Solomon's shield, otherwise known as the Star of David. Hebrew word for David is, I believe, is Dawid or Dawood, which has cunningly been adopted or stolen by the modern day imposter fake white Jews. These European coverts are smiling in your face and smiling in the face of natural Asiatics, but are stabbing natural Asiatics in the backs and using them as scapegoats to deflect and divert what they're doing. And I put here study and research the protocols of the wise elder of Zion, where it says that they will break the families down, meaning your families, with homosexuality, sensationalism, gambling, sex appeal products, was all this hair care products. These sisters got damn Marilyn Monroe on their shirt, this white cocaine slut. Them fake Jews are exacerbating all this shit through their Hollywood. Got our women wearing coochie cutters all in the damn supermarket. Ass out, titties out, coochie out. Okay? All this Beyonce showing her behind to the world. Our women look like they horny. Looking like they ready to mate on the spot. That's them Jews exacerbating these movies. Our sisters being whored out. While they turn around and play like they innocent and got all this discipline. Being Hebrew bar mitzvah, which is an Afro-Asiatic culture and rites of passage. They standing in your shoes and got you out there looking slutty, and the men looking like pimps and predators. That's what the protocol of elder design, protocols of the wise elder design is telling you. That's their attack on the natural Asiatic family. Got us looking fucked up, but they got all, they look so damn royal and noble, which they're not. They just stand in your shoes. When the cat is away, damn it, the mice will play. When you get back in your shoes, they got to go. And that's the time we're in right now. So that's the end of that note. Continuing, the natural mother had no idea that she has just unknowingly made her natural child a permanent surety for an accommodation party to a U.S. debtor slave public person. In actuality, the natural mother traded/exchanged her natural child into a brutal corporate slavery and a sure commercial death. The unknown, undisclosed terms and conditions of the state birth trade agreement contract entailed the U.S. federal corporation securing a bond, a debt instrument on her natural child through the artificial fictitious U.S. person, in which the newly created fictitious U.S. person bears the name of the natural child, except the name is displayed in the grammatical style of all capital letters, which signifies a commercial legal entity. The amount of the U.S. bond debt instrument is said to be in the amount of anywhere between $650,000 to $1 million, which is a pre-established amount reflecting the estimated wage earner labor income expected to be amassed between the legal working age of 18 and 70, in which the newly created fictitious U.S. person, by way of the natural person providing a natural energy, will bring the modern day pirate operation, otherwise known as U.S. Federal Corporation. The natural child is now unknowingly the collateral security interest which has been pledged as a guarantee to ensure that the U.S. extortion debt amount will be paid to the foreign gangsters by way of their third party mafia hitmen, commercial mercenaries who are fraudulently commercially trading as the United States and all of its allies, proxies, vassals, affiliates, contractors, etc. Continuing, in other words, your natural child now has a price, aka bounty, on their heads, in which the global elite money masters and world banksters/gangsters has employed third-party commercial mercenary mafia hitmen, modernly known as policy soldiers, otherwise known as police, who enforce corporate policy and commercial codes on a fictitious U.S. person by way of the natural person serving unknowingly as surety for an accommodation party to the fictitious U.S. front person. For more on that, there's a YouTube out there, Don't Go to Bed with a Price on Your Head. YouTube, just Google it. Don't go to bed with a price on your head. Okay, it's a YouTube. It's not the song that Sammy Davis sung for the hit TV series Beretta. If you want to hear that, that's up to you, because he did sing that with relevance to this topic. But this YouTube is a Filmora video, but it's really all audio because there's no face being shown. Don't go to bed with a price on your head to know more about you sisters, what you did to your child coming through your womb unknowingly due to the war you all are in. Continuing. Police are dumb, stupid animals only used to enforce domestic policy. Policy meaning the policy of the government of Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, the 10 square mile radius. The government of the 10 square mile radius known as Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, not the government of the natural organic land, continental United States Republic, not that government. Okay, so that's who the police work for, domestic policy. Okay, and furthermore, U.S. soldiers are dumb, stupid animals only used to enforce foreign policy. So there's domestic policy, which is the policy of Washington, D.C., and there's foreign policy, which is the policy of Washington, D.C. They both are policies or the law of Washington, D.C., which is not law at all. Okay, and remember, policy is not law. Police, letting you know what police are. Police are bounty hunters. Bounty meaning price. Police are bounty hunters, also known as body hunters, also known as body snatchers, also known as booty hunters, also known as booty snatchers, also known as booty bandits. Booty as in war prize, treasure, loot, spoils of war. I'm telling you what they are. Brother Taj Tariq got a YouTube out telling you that police are not law enforcement officers. Parts 1 and 2. I suggest you get some of that up in you. Continue on the police. You need to know what the police are. Shooting you in your head out here in the street. Shooting a man in front of the damn 4-year-old child and a woman. You need to know what they're doing and who they are. Okay? Police do serve and protect. You see their logo, they serve and protect? They do serve and protect. I'm going to tell you who they serve and protect. It ain't you. They don't serve you or protect you. What they do, the police serve the interests and protect the assets of the queen albino vampire bitch of England, who was ultimately in service to the pedophile, pickle-sucking, pale-faced Pope. Christian Pope, Catholic Christian Pope. This is the order that's going down, what's kicking your ass, what you under, a Christian fraudulent system. Continuing, you should notice that the police never produce an affidavit in which shows that a crime has ever been committed against anyone. Affidavit in Latin means he asserts. That's the definition of an affidavit. The word affidavit is Latin, meaning he asserts. It does not say that it asserts. It can't assert anything if it doesn't exist. It can't consciously assert nothing. It can't do anything if it doesn't exist. Only a flesh and blood, he or she, real live person can lawfully assert that another flesh and blood, real live person has physically injured them in any way. And that's not taking place. See, this is civics that you all ain't getting. You don't see no civics classics nowhere from these damn fake politricians, mayor, governor. When the last time you seen them hold a damn civics event? They ride around in bulletproof vests stealing your damn money. Where's the civics events at? Civics classes, nowhere. That's your problem. You don't know civics. What I'm kicking here is civics, which in society is supposed to be told to the people all the time, whether it's being in the family, in the churches, in the schools, supposed to be everywhere. What is the definition of a crime? This is the definition of crime according to law, not codes, rules, and policies, that bullshit. Crime, when a person with a capital P, person, meaning a de jure person, not with a small p, meaning de facto person, public person. When crime is when a person with intent, gotta have intent, injures another person, capital P, person, resulting in physical injuries and or death. Period. That's a crime. When a person with intent, not by mistake. See, law is tight. Law is serious. When a person, comma, with intent, very important, injures another person, resulting in physical injuries and or physical death. Meaning if they do it by mistake, that's not a crime. They got to have the intent to do it. Then it's a crime. Continuing, police do not engage or accost you for a lawful crime. We already said that. Police engage or accost you to charge you with violation of a U.S. corporate policy through the artificial, fictitious U.S. person, which has been psychologically overlaid upon you during your natural birth. Of course, through fraud, because you don't even know it exists. Remember that the artificial, fictitious U.S. person that has been overlaid upon you is a U.S. merchant trading vessel. It's a ship trading and operating on the high seas of U.S. commerce. And you, the flesh and blood person, have been frauded unknowingly into being the operator or commander of the U.S. trading vessel. So when you, as a captain of that ship, violate any one of the many various maritime admiralty rules, not laws, of the high seas, the maritime policy enforcement, aka police, will penalize your vessel for violating the U.S. commercial trading rules on the high seas of U.S. commerce. Then you must go to a U.S. Admiralty Maritime Court, which deals with the law of contracts, as your state Berth trade agreement is an Admiralty Maritime contract. Continuing, it is all trade and commerce, whether this trade is foreign or domestic. It says here, during Trump's recent Middle East visit with the corrupt Saudi family, he clearly stated this landmark agreement, talking about a trade agreement. And let me tell you something about this damn Saudi family. It's corrupt. Assalamu alaikum, Saudi family. Okay, Saudi Arabia, number one, the land is named after a damn family. Land is not named after a family of people. Land usually takes the name, like people, of attributes of the creator/creatress of God. Land is named after attributes of God. Simple. Okay, like Morocco, I think, means land of God. Marrakesh, which is really Latinized, is Morocco. Land, just like people, take on attributes of God. They don't take on no damn family names. That's how you know they corrupt. So for Bush to be in bed with a Saudi family, not Bush, but Trump, all of them was, Hillary and all of them, over there shaking their damn hand, they corrupt as shit. So during, again, Trump's recent Middle East visit with the corrupt Saudi family, he clearly stated this landmark agreement, trade agreement, includes the announcement of a $110 billion Saudi-funded defense purchase, which we will be sure to help our Saudi friends, see, they're in bed with them, to get a good deal as in trade negotiations from our great American defense companies. Okay, so it's a Saudi-funded defense purchase. He done went over there and made a deal and made them people pay for defense contracts. That's what it boils down to. It's a defense purchase. Okay, so they spent their money and bought U.S. defense, drones, U.S. logistics. It was a purchase. Trump do what he do. He went over there and sold some bullshit. Sold some shit. He's a good con man. That's what he do. And he calls that a businessman, like he's a business guru. He's a criminal. He's a crook. So that just recently went down. Now remember the Trading with the Enemy War Powers Act. First of all, I want to go back and make sure y'all understand what the U.S. is all about. When Trump went to the Middle East, it's all about trade and commerce. Okay? This landmark trade agreement, trade. Okay? And Trump said he will make sure they get a good deal. Negotiations. Like a car deal. You know? They're dealers. The U.S. is a crooked dealer, period. From our great American U.S. defense companies was nothing but him and his boys, him and his crooked family, him and his cronies, Halliburton, Blackwater, no-bid contracts, giving it to his son Kushner and his daughters, Ivana Trump, and whatever is down, Melania, them conniving Slovenian whores, you know, them some conniving bitches if I ever seen them. conniving, man. And Trump teaching how to be conniving just like them cutthroat, sadistic, capitalist criminals. That's all Trump is doing for his own clique. You know he is. You see it. You ain't in his clique, you get nothing. And that's what's flaring white people up. They ain't in their clique. That's what's going to speed the demise up of the damn U.S. But anyway, continuing. Remember the Trading with the Enemy War Powers Act of October 6, 1917. You know, U.S. Negroes don't even follow stuff like this. This is on the books. Trading with the Enemy War Powers Act, October 6, 1917, which was enacted to define, regulate, and punish trading with the enemy and for other purposes. That's non-disclosure there, for other purposes. They always got some shit where got some other purposes in there. What is that? Non-disclosure. It's fraud. You don't want it where it says other purposes, especially if they ain't disclosing them other purposes. This act originally excluded citizens of the United States, but in the act of March 9th, 1933, see what happened during the 1933 when they stole the gold, the New Deal public policy. Section 2 amended this War Powers Act to include any person within the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So the War Powers Act of 1917 excluded U.S. citizens, but then they amended it in 1932 to include UN citizens as the enemy, and you can no longer trade with the enemy, which is you, if you're dumb enough to be a U.S. citizen. So U.S. citizens, which are artificial, fictitious U.S. maritime vessels, have now been officially declared the enemy. How do you like that? And you still dumb enough to exist as a U.S. citizen, which means serve as a surety for an accommodation party to that damn thing. How many signs you need? Handwriting's been on the wall. Handwriting's been on the wall. Come out of her, my people. All right. So continuing. Again, I'm gonna read you that quote from Tewodros II, Ethiopian emperor. I know their game. First the traders and the missionaries, semicolon, then the ambassadors, then the cannons, meaning colonial weapons. Brother said it's better straight to go to the damn cannons. Okay, keep that quote in mind. 1 second. Continuing, due to the fraudulent state Berth trade agreement contract, which has been deceptively imposed on the natural Asiatic, melanin-rich so-called black peoples of North America, the only existence and functioning in life for them is to look forward to is to punish themselves as a wage earner, pathetically performing a 40-hour per week slave routine. Remember, the commercial concept of a wage earner is only achieved through the state-created, artificial, fictitious, legal entity, corporate, taxable, debtor person displayed on your state birth contract, which earns taxable income. Remember, you ain't earning nothing. Your straw man's earning it, which is taxable. The fictitious name in which you were manipulated at birth into performing for is like a voodoo doll or demonic spirit constantly commanding and controlling your mind, body, and soul. You, the flesh and blood natural person, are being physically, emotionally, and economically, spiritually injured by way of your natural life being sucked out of you, but no one sees the diabolical U.S. device which is being used to commit the crime of murder, rape, deprivation, humiliation, etc. This is the operation being described in the document appropriately known as Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. The U.S. legal entity strawman person, otherwise known as and serves as a U.S. trader, which was psychologically overlaid upon you, is prima facie evidence of a silent weapon in direct relation to a quiet war of commercial, socio-economic, religious conquest of the natural lands and on the natural peoples of North America. Now, I got an excerpt from this top secret Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars to give you proof that there's a war on you. There's no more conspiracy theories, sisters. I know y'all, educated Negroes like to try to throw that out, that everything's a damn conspiracy theory. But that way, you're accusing me of giving you opinions. And I told you, I give you facts, verifiable facts. And this is a verifiable fact. Document called Top Secret: Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, Operation Research Technical Manual, TM-SW 7905.1. It says, this is what they wrote: the public, remember, not the private, the public cannot comprehend this weapon, and therefore cannot believe that they are being attacked and subdued by a weapon. The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but that is because of the technical nature of the silent weapon. They cannot express their feeling in a rational way or handle the problem with intelligence. Therefore, they do not know how to cry for help and do not know how to associate with others to defend themselves against it. These are the people warring against you who reveal what they're doing. When a silent weapon is applied gradually, the public adjusts, adapts to its presence, and learns to tolerate its encroachment on their lives until the pressure, psychological pressure via economic pressure, becomes too great and they crack up. How you like that? Therefore, the silent weapon is a type of biological warfare. It attacks the vitality, options, and mobility of the individuals of a society by knowing, understanding, manipulating, and attacking their sources of natural and social energy, all about energy, and their physical, mental, and emotional strengths and weaknesses. So I just gave you an excerpt of a document that verifies there is a war on you. Now all of this is a continued warfare on the melanin-rich family, as they've been doing for the last 500 years. I put it, if you go to YouTube, there are 3 videos that someone put out. One is called The Natural Asiatic So-Called Black Man in Trouble, 2017. The other is called The Natural Asiatic So-Called Black Woman in Peril, 2017. And the third one is called The Natural Asiatic So-Called Black Youth in Crisis. The problem of the natural family, me personally, I acknowledge that the natural Asiatic melanin-rich, genetically dominant original human family, meaning the original human, woman, child, who possess the natural default characteristics of full melanin hue pigmentation in natural skin, is the original Holy Trinity, otherwise known as the Sacred Triune. If you remove any member from this Holy Trinity equation, the entire structure falls. This is the basis of our conditions, one of the basis of our conditions in North America, why we catch so much hell. If you remove the man, the woman and child suffers and dies from that equation. If you remove the woman from the equation, the man and child suffers and dies. If you remove the child, the man and woman will no longer exist because they're not furthering themselves, meaning bringing any more seeds forth, and eventually they'll perish. The sick, poison, religiously manipulative Catholic Christian Church has desecrated the original woman, sacred woman, out of the Holy Trinity equation and gave us the Roman, Greco-Judeo concept of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Where's the woman? No natural life comes into this natural world except through the natural woman. They just took the woman right out of the equation. But they're using her. They just took her out of the forefront and put her on a backdrop like she doesn't even exist. Continuing, individuals make a family, families make a village, which is a clan, and villages or clans make a tribe, tribes make nations, and nations make empires. The original human and the original woman are truly the yin and the yang. The original human and the original woman are not opposite sexes, they are complementary sexes. The original human family is a natural government, and everyone in that natural government has a natural role to support that government and to keep that natural government successfully working. That's why they broke the families, which they've been doing for 1,000 years, 500 years, and still doing it. Israel The term Israel is a breakdown of Is-Ra-El. Okay, Israel. The Is stands for Isis. The Ra stands for the God, Commission God, Amun Ra. And El is Elohim, which is the gods, the seven spirits make up the creator. Michael, Gabriel, all that good stuff. So that's what Israel is. Isis, Ra, and El, which is an ancient concept, which got nothing to do with them damn white fake Jews over there now. We know that Ma, anything with Ma is feminine energy. Ma, matriarch, matrix has the first two letters. Ma is in mama, mother, and we know Pa is masculine energy. Pa, patriarch, papa, papal. You know what I mean? Papa Grande, that's masculine. PA. Part of the main reason that the natural Asiatic family is in the pathetic condition is because, due to being dumbed down, mixed up, and tricked out, we do not know how to read the writing in which they put on the wall. When one begin to talk about the U.S. war strategy, otherwise known as child support, which is a $37.9 billion industry, you must go back to the filthy, hillbilly, racist, redneck U.S. President CEO Bill Clinton with the Reform Welfare Act. Bill Clinton created block grants to allow the state as an enemy of the state, to condition any way they see fit to collect child support money from the natural Asiatic men who do not understand that their testicle apparatus is the real weapon. Okay, talking about that tubal cane, two balls and a penis is the real weapon, is the weapon. If you look at the ancient Judaic Hebrew custom and tradition known as the bar mitzvah, which is an Afro-Asiatic Hamito-Shemitic culture, it is taught to the young men not to use their penis or phallus until they are ready to financially support a family and be able to take care of a wife. In nature, the real age of manhood is the puberty of your testes or your testicles, meaning the ability to make a child. When a young man releases his masculine essence or sperm into the womb, which is said to be referred to symbolically as the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh, you are a man. This means that according to nature, the actual age of manhood is 13 and is otherwise referred to as puberty. Okay, or whenever you can make a baby, excuse me. The wicked USB system, which capitalizes off our lower nature, once the young Asiatic men having sex early. The reason that this system is so harsh with young Asiatic men is because now that the Asiatic woman is pregnant and bears the child, she appears to be abandoned because the young brother cannot financially support his act of manhood and can't take care of her. Then the state corporation, not the state republic, steps in, the unseen hand. The state steps in like the parent, steps in, which is the reason for the socialist security slave insurance number. The state just want to know where the young man is so they can find him. The wicked state gives the woman housing and various other state benefits after she delivers the child, but they will bill 100% to the young man. Of course, through the state-created straw man commercial person, which has been psychologically overlaid on him during his natural birth. If our natural Asiatic youth were an improper person, meaning with a lawful nationality, proper status at law, correct identity, rites of passage, etc., they would not be in these commercial courts to handle their sexual affairs or lawful union affairs in which the young melanin-rich woman has to go and place a bounty on a young brother's head for that child support. This would be the reason that Bill Clinton's satanic, sadistic wife, Hillary Redneck Clinton, made the statement around the same time that her racist husband put the welfare reform into place that African young men are super predators. This particular statement by the Grand Dame, Mother of Darkness, whether y'all know that's nicknames for Hillary. She's referred to as the Grand Dame / Mother of Darkness. Her statement was no doubt designed to generate revenue income for the private shareholders of the state by filling the U.S. jails and prisons up with black commodities and Negro product, which is our young natural Asiatic men. Continuing the bail bondsman scam and racket system. The racist New York Police Department recently announced that they changed their policy on how they previously handled low-level offenses, reclassifying offenses such as drinking in the public, loitering, spitting, violating park rules, and urinating in the public as civil rather than criminal, saying that will reduce the number of criminal summonses by 100,000. The bail system in New York in particular and U.S. in general is a broken system. A recent report issued by the Brooklyn Community Bail Fund outlined a broken, unregulated bail system. You should already know who this system impacts the most in New York, inner city, black and brown, mostly youth and adults or whoever, but natural Asiatics, in other words, Moors. This report finds a number of violations such as unlicensed bail bond companies. Some have fictitious trade names, companies doing business in unregistered locations, and in many instances of bail bond victims being misled and fleeced. According to Peter Goldberg, according to Peter Goldberg, executive director of the Brooklyn Community Bail Fund, what the commercial bail bond industry is doing is siphoning money into private industry, making the financial divide in poor inner city communities even wider. Peter Goldberg says approximately 45,000 New York City men and women will be placed into jail this year because they cannot afford bail. The bail bond industry nationwide is a $14 billion a year industry and profits off of the back of low-income individuals. This system is keeping poor people in jail during pretrial and out of society. This system is defrauding the most vulnerable, which is classic consumer fraud. This system is charging illegal fees, not returning collateral, and arbitrarily arresting people who supposedly violate their bogus bail bond contract. No one is holding them accountable. Predatory bail lending, just like all the types of lending, targets the poor and drains these people from money. Income disparities are at an all-time high in New York. New Yorkers need to be protected from predatory bail bondsmen and bondswomen. If someone does not make bail during pretrial, they go to Rikers Island. Okay, Rikers Island. If you all want to know about Rikers Island, you can look at that movie documentary called 13th, which told about the Rashid Patterson brother who committed suicide shortly after coming out of Rikers Island. Movie called 13th, Race and Incarceration. 80% of people sit on Rikers Island just because they can't pay bail. This is extortion. Even if they can afford bail, their funds are going to for-profit private ventures, which the judges, the police, the city, the state, and ultimately the United Snakes is benefiting from. This bail bond industry is private, and they make their own rules. They are not disclosing the exact terms and conditions to these contracts. In addition to not knowing their rights, which is our ignorance, we're contracting ignorance, the people don't know what to comply with. It says that there are storefronts with no signs and no information on who the actual bail bond person is. This is another shady operation being spearheaded by the state. What the crooked state corporation is doing is outsourcing the power of who will be free or who will stay in jail to for-profit actors. Same with the appeal process. Same thing with the appeal process in these U.S. jails and prisons. Third-party contractors run that. So the bail bonds industry is enriching themselves on people who desperately want to get out of jail. And there's absolutely no oversight from city, state, or federal. The bottom line here is the state is a crooked casino running a crooked card game, and you know what they say, that the crooked dealer and its crooked agents and sub-agents always win. And you must remember that the police, when they construct those fraudulent charges on your fictitious straw man, actually initiated all of this fraudulent revenue to the state corporation, which is ultimately the United States Federal Corporation in Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. I know that I've already informed you all before that police are commercial business contractors and corporate revenue agents serving as third-party contractors for this U.S. pirate operation, disguising themselves as just indulging in friendly trade and just doing honest business. And there is absolutely no oversight from city, state, and federal. I'm going to say again, watch these filthy so-called Jews. You got the Jew boy Peter Goldberg, hands in his pot, claiming to be so concerned of getting our people out of jail. Why is he not telling us what we need to do to permanently stay out of jail? Which means real status change, which can only be done by nationality, lawful nationality, correct identity, proper status, rites of passage, etc., which they are now enjoying while standing in your shoes and profiting off of you as the scapegoats. You know, we are getting crushed. Okay, the true seed of Abraham, which is us, tribe of Shem. No such thing as no damn anti-Semitic. They just took the word Shemitic and transposed that into Semitic. A German cracker did that in like 1879. Politically concocted a word and kept putting it into your psyche, forcing it into your psyche over and over again. Semitic. Everybody's anti-Semitic. Well, the natural Asiatic can't be anti-Semitic because they are Shem. Shem being one of the sons of Noah, whether it be proverbial, allegorical. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So I tell you to keep an eye on these damn Jews, but the Creator is making them bastards talk. They ain't got no choice. They're behind the scenes like filthy albino cockroaches, because that's what the hell they are. And the Creator got something for their ass too, the synagogue of Satan. They gonna have to come out too, because when you bring the fraud out in the damn U.S., which they control, damn it, they got to come out. So they ain't nothing but something to do, and that's what's taking place. Now they come out telling you what's going on because the heat's coming back on their ass. It can't be all this holy and you sitting there catching pure hell getting shot in the back of your damn head on public TV in front of your children, and they ain't saying nothing. Damn it, they starting to say something now because it's coming back on their ass. And you're going to find out they the ones orchestrating that, and they want that to happen indirectly so they can keep getting the gravy. All that shit's about to stop. That's what's going on in North America. It's a showdown. Time for the big throwdown and a big showdown. That means all these maggots hiding under the carpet. The carpet gonna be pulled, and it's been pulled thanks to 2012. We're gonna see who everybody is. It's a very revealing time, beautiful time. It's wild, but it's sweet. And I keep hitting these damn Jews because they ain't coming under the radar on me. I got them in my damn scope. You will be dealt with. Standing in the damn shoes of the original people while they catching hell. That's gonna change. And that's why I'm so hard at Jay-Z talking about he's starting a corporation. I guess he did it through a corporation, talking about he's bailing brothers out Father's Day. Fuck Father's Day, man. Our people need to be not touched 365 days a year. Start something to do that, Jay-Z. You're a charlatan also, brother. I know you're from New York. That means nothing. Okay, Empire State, home of the damn slave. Slaves came in. New York is a big slave state. Slaves came in from damn Wall Street, connects right down to that damn river, whatever river which connects to the Atlantic Ocean. All our people came in through the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, New York got a port, a damn South Street seaport. Slaves, us, Jay-Z. Teach the people some civics, Jay-Z. Don't bullshit me, bruh. You can't bullshit me. I grew up old school. Africa Bambaataa, the Grandmaster Flash. We did hip-hop in the park. I know what hip-hop is. You're supposed to be damn raising a nation. Free your people. Don't come in as a charlatan. Got all these little dumb groupies following you. These fans, fanatics. I don't follow you. So I'm talking to you straight. I know you're going to get this message. You got power, your little pull, your little groupies. Don't start nothing, damn it, to get our people out for one damn day. Who you fronting? Who you fronting on? Start something to keep our people out all year round. They don't need to be in there. Start something where the pigs don't touch our people. For them to be in there for you to get them out. All you're doing is making money for the bail bondsmen. And you probably went and formulated a bail bondsman company, which you paying yourself any damn way. That's how you keeping this money. Snake. Okay? Hate to be so hard, but damn it, that's the times we in. It's time for checkmate. We playing, it's checkers, not chess. All this front, or you get a black mama bailout day, get a sister out for one day to be home for Mother's Day. The hell with Mother's Day. They need to be home every damn day. The police don't need to be touching them. And the only way to do that, we need civics class to tell them who they are. The police ain't got no business stepping to them. When you get in your own nation, they don't step to them fake Jews with them yarmulkes on, shooting them down in the street. What's the problem? Okay, now everybody want to pretend they so concerned. Some damn Peter Goldberg telling you about the bail bond industry. Well, that's what it's been doing. Y'all been running that. Now you want to show some concern because the shit is so ugly and lopsided till it's coming towards you suckers, you blood suckers. You fake Jews of European descent. This stuff is getting so ugly it's coming your way. And you trying to divert it, you can't do it. Because y'all the ones controlling behind the scenes. Them some conniving suckers, man. They psychotically conniving. And I can't stand them. I'm gonna tell you now. It's war. You need to know who you on seen and unseen. The U.S. is operating covertly, and they operating, U.S. federal corporation is operating overtly, killing your damn men, disrespecting your men, got your women homeless overtly, and they operating covertly, which is for the same purpose. They're controlling the U.S., doing this to you through their Israeli Mossad secret intelligence organization. They run the U.S. All your paperwork goes to them. So that's what's taking place. And when the creator got away, man, of pulling them roaches out of the woodwork, the maggots hiding under the rock, creator kicking them rocks over, and the maggots are scrambling. It's them damn fake Jews. So don't ever think they got your interests. Never. If they run in their mouth and look like they telling the truth and trying to start some corporation like they helping you, they still ain't helping you. They trying to get the heat off their ass, but that ain't gonna work. I'm bringing the heat to them and anybody else who going against natural Asiatics. God damn it, I'm openly, unapologetically bringing it to you. The universe is bringing it. Damn it, I work for the universe. I'm bringing it. I'm assisting the universe. Got another filthy Jew organization. I ain't gonna tell you the area, but they started some shit where they pretend they giving drug treatment to all our people that been poisoned with these drugs. The CIA done admitted bringing these damn drugs to these ports. They admitted the shit. Bringing crack cocaine and putting it on damn inner city black and brown for business purposes. Hell, the movies is telling you, and one of the Godfathers is telling you, put the drugs in the nigger communities, killing niggas off. So the handwriting's on the wall. The movies are telling you. The Jews getting scared, telling you. Everybody's telling you. The rocks are telling you. The birds are telling you. The bees are telling you. We're in a revealing time. That's what 2012 is. Y'all don't know. You're supposed to be spiritual people. The earth is talking and speaking out of injustice. Everything is speaking against injustice. and the damn chickens are coming home to roost. It's a divine time going on. This ain't nothing to play with. And natural Asiatics, again, being a damn parent of the planet, parent genes is coming back around to you to rule again. And they're trying to counteract it. You need to get your mind right and go into the flow of what's happening and take your rightful place. Reclaim your estate back. And when you do that, everybody else got to go. Talking about them damn albino cockroaches, fake Jews, and these albino parasite cockroaches, Trump and his boys, and his Slovenian white slut wife, and his redneck son, Jared Kushner, and his whole scumbag administration. When you get in your right status, they got to go. This whole shit comes down because it's riding off of you. Now this filthy Jew. I saw this filthy fake Jew putting up these signs of drug treatment. You know who's on drugs en masse? It's us. And of course white people too. They got in on it, but it's really for you. It did what it needed to do to you. Crack and all that. You know, he putting up these signs of a drug treatment with a yarmulke on, and I stepped to him like, you know, what's this all about drugs? What do you got there? I play stupid with him. I play dumb with him. You know, but I asked him, okay, you putting up these drug treatment signs, are you stopping the drugs from coming in? Like, why put a Band-Aid on the situation? Again, like these bail, you know, like all this getting brothers out of bail for one day and sisters out of jail for one day, Jay-Z. You know, you ain't even helping the cause. It's like if there's a hole in a boat, you're in a canoe out in the ocean, and there's a hole in a boat, bringing water in a boat, making you sink. You need to stop the hole in the boat. You don't need a apparatus to throw the water out the damn canoe as the water comes in. You need to stop the water from coming in the boat. That makes more sense than to get a machine to to kick out more water, throw the water out the boat. Stop the damn water first thing and stop the damn water from coming in the boat. And that's what I'm talking about. All these fake actions these people are doing, like Mama Bailout Day, get a sister home for Mother's Day. Yeah, it got some semblance to it of justice, but it ain't. It's a Band-Aid. And what these Jews are doing, starting these fake corporations like they're trying to help natural Asiatics. I told them, you know, stop the damn drugs from coming in. Don't try to act like you healing us when we done got put on drugs, house being tooken. You got a chemical on your brain, you can't think straight for 20 years. Then you've been classified as mentally ill with the state making money in these psychiatric hospitals. And you, the Jew, making money because when they start a corporation and put you in that program, they going into your damn private bond account, which is on the opposite side of your damn Social Security number. I told you, corporations don't have nothing to give you, never, ever, if it doesn't exist. When you give them a combination of your damn Social Security number, that straw man and your signature, you just gave them limited power of attorney to go into that private bond account and get what? Money. They're making money. Simple as that. And they're doing it under the guise of helping you. They're not helping you. They're not helping you. Because they ain't dealing with who the hell put you on drugs. The United Snakes government. Ronald Reagan. Jimmy Redneck Carter. Bill Redneck Clinton. They brought them drugs in to put a whole race behind. Damn, another damn 100 years. Mine can't get right. Crack. That damn crack hit our people. We ain't recovered since. This is chemical poisoning by a so-called Christian operation called United Snakes. Get the hell out of here with that Christian bullshit. They showing you what they doing to you, how Christian they are. That's Christianity, and goddamn it, I don't want it. You better be glad when somebody don't say the word Christian, I don't slap the fuck out of somebody. Alright? It's so contradiction, that term Christianity. What the hell is Christianity at? That's what the police are, shooting our brothers like that in front of their damn children? See, they need you to be stuck on that superstitious bullshit when they using it for a different reason. to exterminate you because it's all about an estate, and they claim your damn estate. That's what Brother Taj Tariq Bey said. Can never thank that brother for 20 years telling you straight it's all about the estate. You are an estate. Your mind is an estate, as in state of mind. What state of mind you in? They got all this entitlement off of taking you out of your damn entitlement. Simple as that. So again, the name of this monologue is State Birth Certificate is a Trade Agreement Undisclosed to the People. And again, I just expounded on there's a Word document floating around with the same title somebody put out called the State Birth Certificate is a trade agreement undisclosed to the people. It being undisclosed is fraud. This is what we need to be dealing with. We need to damn rescind and nullify them damn state birth trade agreements, and we have a claim in when we do that collectively. This is my proposal to my people, natural Asiatics. This is the revealing time that I'm getting from 2012, the cosmic time we in. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. We need to rescind and nullify them damn instruments due to fraud, due to unfair trade practices. There's a Federal Trade Commission. We should automatically move to get this United Snakes government to hold a forum and event on our concerns of unfair trade practices with these damn birth certificates and birth trade agreements. Where remember, the birth certificate is just a receipt that you've been frauded. It's documented evidence. And you got a Social Security card, more evidence. Birth certificate is first evidence. Social Security card is second evidence, with the straw man on the front and the private bond number on the back. So the Social Security number is a public number for the straw man, and the private bond number on the back of the Social Security number is the private man is shoring up the public bullshit. That's the only way it can happen, because public corporations have nothing. So they frauded the private, the substance, you out of your substance, and represented it back to you under the public like they giving you something. These boys are sorcerers, man. This is sorcery, straight up. It's sorcery. All this superstition getting you to believe opinions. The hell with that. You need to know some things. You're a God serving the Most High God. Damn it, you need to act like a God and become back to being a God and a goddess serving the Most High God and goddess. Because they done tricked you out. They done stole your substance, theft by conversion, and damn it, represented it back to you like they giving you something through the a public front. You can't tell me that ain't slick, and you think they giving you something. That's why Trump is running around here talking about he's gonna cut cut welfare, and Negroes getting scared. I don't know why. We weren't supposed to be on that public bullshit in the first place, because it never had nothing. You got the substance. Go back to your private, where you filthy rich. You don't need no damn public funds, public welfare, public assistance. That's why he's cutting that. To make you get a job, so you can pay them that income revenue through that straw man, taxable revenue. You don't need that either. You make this beast settle up on them damn bonds that they done been profiting off of Donald Trump. You want to be so run around here, trade agreements, and damn it, you come see me. He know what the hell I'm talking about. He's supposed to be a damn businessman, which is really a criminal. And you dealing in fraud, man, you ain't no businessman. You're a goddamn criminal, and criminals need to go to jail. How about that? So, in Omarosa, Manigault, you the White House flunky. You the gopher. You go tell him that. Go set up a meeting with your colonial white slave master. Since he done messed up your mind and probably your behind. Okay? And you set up something where we have a forum and let him address, since he's the president CEO of the United Snakes Federal Corporation, let him address our issues of fraud on United Snakes through them birth certificates. And see what he has to say then. You think he gonna come to the table like he got honor? No. Because he's a capitalist criminal. So it says here, I'm gonna continue because this show is gonna this monologue is gonna stop in about 20 minutes. When you get a job, you are actually paying yourself. Okay, that corporation is just that, a corporation, and we already said that earlier, that they're paying you out of your own damn account. How dumb can we be? You're negotiating a salary which is not that much. 65,000 really ain't that much. Okay, out of your own account. Whatever you're doing, damn it, you should negotiate 500,000 a year. 65,000 a year, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000 is beans, according to the extortion of what land costs and mortgages. And okay, if you understand you're paying yourself, damn it, give me 5 million a year. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm shoveling, damn it, horse manure. I can do it a little bit better for 500,000 a year, pulling up in a damn Bentley to shovel horse manure if that's what I chose to do. Especially if I know I'm paying myself. That's what it's all about. It ain't what I'm doing, it's how I'm getting paid for it. It says here, knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power in and by itself. A lot of charlatans running around, Negroes, someone, knowledge is power. Information is power. They're charlatans. They're not telling you the whole phrase. Knowledge is not power in and by itself, and information is not power in and by itself. The full term, the full phrase is the activation of the right knowledge is power, or the activation of the right information is power. There's a huge difference. When you know better, you do better, which means that your actions should be based on your quality and degree of knowledge. Continuing, faiths, beliefs, and opinions are for superstitious, non-spiritual, childlike non-adults. Rescind and nullify your state birth certificate agreement due to unfair, deceptive, fraudulent trade practices by United States Federal Corporation. The U.S. standing for, according to me, unmistakably Satan, has been doing shady, crooked, fraudulent business with natural, Asiatic, melanin-rich, so-called black peoples of North America and ultimately around the world. The concept of business is designed by natural law to be fair by way of a mutual and knowing consent by both parties of the business agreement contract. Get this. When business becomes unfair, crooked, shady, when business becomes unfair, crooked, fraudulent, shady, it no longer fits the qualification for being classified as business. When business becomes unfair, fraudulent, crooked, shady, etc., it now fits the category of crime. You understand? Crime. Which is what goddamn Donald Trump is doing every day, him and his scumbag administration. And criminals need to go to jail. How about that? They're criminals. Continuing. Your mad dog, rabid animal, totalitarian fascist dictator Donald Chump/Gump, and absolutely all of his scumbag administration are Caucasoid, cracker-ass criminals. All of those with K's, KKK, otherwise known as covert Ku Klux Klan, also with 3 K's, and should be all thrown under the jail and shot and put out of their misery like the sick, demented, sadistic, rabid dogs that they truly are. So stop running around here like that cracker is some kind of business guru, that these crackers are smarter than you through the guise of business. All these crackers, every time you see them, got a damn shirt and tie on like they doing honest business. The hell with that. They're criminals. Because when you discern that there's fraud in what they're doing, it is not business. It's crime. Including your boy Barack Obama, putting on a shirt and tie, and every time you see him, they got on a clean shirt. Mitt Romney, all of them. Bush, filthy Bush. Texas, all criminal. See, they slick. They put on a shirt and tie and a suit and come in front of you and shake your hand like they ain't doing no wrong. They killing you. They're killing you through their corporate fraudulent policies. That's the crackers' mischief around this planet, and people are catching on to that bullshit, and it's over. brown-skinned people ain't falling for it no more. Whether y'all know it, Philippines just solidified a commercial contract with China. Philippines is joining their motherland, China. They all family. Okay, Panama just cut ties with, I think it was Taiwan, and made a commercial agreement with who? China. Trading agreement. So Philippines just did it recently. Panama just did it. Everybody's joining with China. Mighty China. There's a battle here against Asiatics against non-Asiatics. And you Negroes, colored black Negroes, African Americans need to get in on it. But you need a nationality. The current secret shadow government established in Washington, D.C. is not your government. You, the natural Asiatic melanin-rich Amurican peoples, Amurican/Amarucan peoples are the government. Today is truly a new day and a new age, the age of water, consciousness, and truth. No more state-sponsored religious witchcraft, which is nothing but legal trickery and legal slickery. If you don't know, I didn't say believe, if you do not know, damn it, you better ask somebody. Ask somebody. To hell with superstitious belief. A nation of people in commercial bondage, also known as bondage, which is a war debt due to trade wars, cannot attain to their highest spirituality. So you Negroes need to stop fronting how damn spiritual you are. Talking about you a vegan and you got the dreadlocks hitting the damn ground. And okay, rescind and nullify them damn trade certificate agreements, them fraudulent agreements. You're going to have to deal with them one way or the other. You cannot get to your highest spirituality, attain your highest spirituality being in commercial bondage. Meaning going to these stores using Federal Reserve notes. All that's over. We don't have to use them things if we get in our right status and deal with them fraudulent contracts. Continuing. Bondage or bondage due to war debt is slavery, and slavery is death. War debt is sin, and the wages of sin is commercial, physical, and spiritual death. Where is your God? Who is your God? What is your God? And God to me, guns, oil, or drugs. Which one? Anything that you're a fanatic of is your God. You're not on your true God right now. You're operating for a voodoo doll. You're operating for an idol God. That all capital letter name that's controlling your mind, body, and your soul. And you don't even know you're being controlled by dummy corporations like a Chucky doll controlling you. That surely ain't your natural God. So you out of your natural damn mind. Simple as that. You're out of your natural role, out of your natural mind, and out of your natural place. You're losing your natural soul. Continuing, when you sign state birth trade agreements that you do not understand, overstand, and understand, then you suffer. We need to organize. In conclusion of this monologue, which is appropriately entitled, once again, the state birth certificate is a trade agreement undisclosed to the people. What I recommend is us to organize through some kind of nationalistic organization. You got to move as a nation and immediately challenge the damn United Snakes and rescind and nullify them damn fraudulent state births, trade agreements, which created this straw man fraud and got you in this world of U.S. fraudulent commercial matrix that's got you dying and losing your soul, and you women are catching hell. Okay, it's war. It's classic war. And we ain't gonna rise no higher. See, the universe is moving. If what I'm saying now, if you listen to this information, which is very revealing, divine and revealing, nobody told you this. Malcolm X didn't tell you like this. Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Drew Ali. Nobody brought these damn contracts to the surface like I'm doing right now, damn July 1st, 2017 AD. Now you'll be a fool, black fool, African American fool, Negro fool, colored fool, after getting this information not to do nothing about it. And once you get this information and you don't do nothing about it, then damn it, you're voluntarily a slave and you ain't got nothing damn to complain about. When they kick you in your ass and knock your damn teeth out on the side of the road, then damn it, don't holler, because you're volunteering for it after you get this information and don't do nothing about it. This information is for you to act on to better yourself. When you know better, you do better. When you get this information, you're not doing any better, then damn it, you volunteering to be a damn black plantation mammy and plantation pappy, and keep going to hell in the handbasket, quoting them damn Christian scriptures that ain't giving you no damn power. Ephesians 1:5, Galatians, that's all the hell you know, but you ain't got no power. Where's your God? That's what I want to know. You had God in you, I would know by seeing your actions. You ain't got one. You're a slave, driving a bus like a damn plantation mammy, driving Miss Daisy, and quoting scriptures. I'm gonna use a child of God. A child of God don't work no 40-hour work week like a black slave. Which one are you? Come on now. Your fronting is over. Ain't no more future in your fronting, you U.S. black Christians. It's over. Okay? Once again, you want to get back at me, get with me, however you want to put it. Website https://indigenouspeopledocs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. And that's Moorish Nation with 2 U's in the website. And the email is asiaticmoorishnation@gmail.com. Moorish Nation in the email is with 2 O's. Send me an email. I got a proposal. I'll send you some information. Send me your email on what I propose. Okay, and it's got to do something with a lot of reading. So I done told y'all, get yourself some type of law dictionary. It don't have to be blacks. It could be Bouvier's. Many people make law dictionaries. Blacks is just a product. It's just a maker of a law dictionary. They don't make all law dictionaries. Get some variation of an earlier edition of a law dictionary, preferably edition 1 through 4, number 1, and number 2. Get yourself some kind of variation of a American collegiate dictionary. They're not one and the same. Your law dictionary focuses on law terms, which everything is law, and American collegiate dictionaries deal with general terms, which are being used every day. Get both. You need both. Okay, they're not one and the same. And while you at it, you might as well get you an etymological dictionary, because if you don't know the etymology of these words, so you got to break down that word. In the beginning was the word. You see? And that's what them Christian preachers are using. And the Bible's nothing but words, deceptive words, allegorical form of words. You see, symbolic words that you don't even understand. That's why you suffering like hell. The words I gave you in this monologue is straightforward. Straight, no chaser. I ain't got to put no fluff on it and put a leg on it and take a leg off. I gave it to you so you can understand it. And by me being melanin rich, you can feel who I'm talking to, melanin rich people. We got a certain way we operate with each other. I ain't gonna come and bullshit you. You know what I mean? Like these white patriot groups, they're not gonna save you. You're not no damn white patriot. You're not no white sovereign. You understand? You're the cream of the damn earth. You're the cream, simple as that. Parents, everybody else, you got the parent genes. That's all you need to know. I'm talking to you like who you were created to be. No white boy, a little white girl gonna come in front of you with no white patriot mythology concepts and is gonna save you. Oath keepers and oath takers, all this bullshit. They can't save you. When you get in line, they gotta get in line in succession of who they are. You trump them at all times. Okay, Cynthia McKinney, you partner with this damn white Dutch man again. I don't know what it is about these damn white men, these damn white people. Cynthia McKinney, you got too many damn white people around you. I follow you. I know you did American Blackout. I was proud that you stood out as a congresswoman, but now it's too long for you to keep doing the same thing, sister. I done told you to come back to who you are. You should be advocating for a damn village, nationality, and tribe for your people. That's what you should be doing. Stare at them damn white people's face. There's something wrong with you, sister. Hate to tell you. You need to look at some of Myra L videos, and you're the total opposite of Myra L. So you compromise, sister. You ain't freeing our people. Being no co-founder with this damn white Dutch man. The Dutch put us in slavery. Dutch masters. And you co-founding with this cracker. You got too many crackers around you, Cynthia McKinney. Something wrong with you. I can't follow you. You understand? Get with your own. Give me an email. I'm gonna send you proposals that you can feel. Something wrong. You compromise, sister. It's time for the people with the parent genes to rule again. Rule or be ruled. 2012 is saying it's time for us to rule again. It's coming back around to us. That's all we got to do is prepare to rule. We can't do it boot licking and butt licking no more. Prepare your women to rule. Get your women's mind right. Get them damn children mind right. And brother, get your mind right. You want to know what I'm about? Send me an email and I'm going to send you a proposal. I got war proposals. And I'm glad to send you one. You got to read dealing with me. You see? You're going to have to use your intellect around me. You're not going to sit around and talk about what damn Garvey did and Garveyite and all that shit. That ain't going to work right now. It didn't work. You ain't going to sit around Islam Mo all day, Black Power all day. We got to formulate government, period. You ain't ready to do that, then you half-stepping. You faking the funk. Our women are suffering and crying and dying because we dying. They shooting our men in front of her, letting her see so that she may fear. You see, so they taking it back to colonial Jim Crow, but that's not gonna work because the universe is moving on their ass, and that's what we got to do. We got to go to another level. We got to get about a third dimension, go to fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, to infinity, which only we can do. We got melanin. Their pineal gland is calcified, ours is not. We can travel on multi-dimensions at the same time. They can't. Okay, we can astral project, astral plane, astral travel. They cannot. Don't let them fool you. That's the time we in now. Come back to being gods and goddesses or get off the pot. Excuse the expression, either piss or get off the pot. That's what I'm talking to, the original people. That's what it is for us. Once again, I'm in Rael. Hope you learned something. This broadcast is about to cut off in about 3 minutes. But that's how I'm coming with it. That's how I'm coming with it. The human family is God. Human, human, child. Let's come back to being gods and goddesses. And sisters, we got to put y'all back on the throne and kill for anybody who come near y'all. That's what it's about. This white man staying on y'all and turning it up, trying to kill us to get to y'all. Y'all don't know who y'all are. But damn it, y'all better find out who y'all are because y'all control the children. Once we get y'all mind right, we on our way somewhere. Okay, when that Word document came out, I forwarded that to a sister, and I know we on the right track because a sister said, I'm interested. If anybody of y'all got that Word document, the state birth certificate is a trade agreement, a sister immediately said, brother, I'm interested. Is there any workshops? So I know that shit hit a nerve in her. That's good. That's the mama of the universe felt it, that it's all about her and them children. She ready to get with it and become a part of it. And she, in other words, she's putting her energy behind it and supporting it naturally because it's about her and them children. So I know I'm on the right track when a sister calls in and say, brother, I'm with it. So that's what it's all about. Once again, I'm in Rael. I'm out. Peace.